It's interesting, caught my attention. Um, Hope everyone's doing all right. I chose to do a late thing on YouTube. Yes, and kind of my schedule a little bit because then I had to hop on, do 4 hours, went to bed, didn't get that much sleep, got back up, hadn't been able to go back to sleep ever since I got up that final time. I don't know where I've been with some of the stuff, but there's a lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting other things to talk about. Beachside graffiti removal expert, aka the guy that removed Ryan Upchurch's signature, and then because of the Kylie Rodney Johnny Goble supposed connection. You know, if you look back in my early vids from last year, I never denied like these people, this group going at Johnny. Like I apologized to him. I tried to do every fucking thing in my power to make it right and be like, hey man, I came on here, I saw shit, and I went with the crowd. And, you know, although I was, fooled, I did in my heart believe, like, Johnny, you were up to no good, and that's why there was all this attention on you. I did believe that. And I realized it was a lie. And that's the only, because of that connection, because of the significance in finding it, and that's the people that have been going at me, and and the way it's connected. Even though he tried to, I don't know, he's talked about me and then tries to act like I'm nothing, you know. So they're gonna be like, oh, he's all triggered. No, fuck you, Beachside. I don't care that you blocked me last night, Anonymouses. Fuck you, anonymous dude. I'm not calling you by your name. I you you people that just blindly pass over me and think I'm just something funny that these guys obsess over, but act like, oh, what they do to me is not a crime or wrong, but what they do to Johnny Goble or this person or that person that you're a mod for, by the way, and in their channel, you don't want to take away from any of that or get any other attention. You don't want to let me talk because it annoys you or because you just think that I'm trying to get clout or attention and making it about myself when you damn well know what my lives are like, what ever since I decided to call everybody out and not be worried about being cool with this or that and be accountable. I haven't had anyone trying to be a mod. I haven't had and do I bitch about it? Do I come in here and say, oh no, no? I come in here and I still do what I originally planned to do for the live. I used to let it detract me. I just let the comments fucking fill up. I don't even watch them half the time. And even though I've done that, this very thing they talk about, ignore, but you don't ignore, Johnny. You don't ignore, anonymous dude. You other people, you don't ignore, really. You're secretly listening and watching. Chrissy, Iceman, even though you always love to project about how you're not. It's a fucking joke. So I mean, just keep it up. Keep acting like nothing's been done to me, and then accuse me of doing the very same fucking thing you do with Johnny or anyone else these people attack. Even last night, they're fucking saying, "Oh, anonymous dude, you better drop the link." Charlie, one of the fucking people that had a plan or had a hand in causing the scenario that happened in January with my local law enforcement, who's been biased against me, who this is something that Johnny said and came on that he was going to tackle. And you people act like I'm reaching out to him because, like, I don't know, you think I want to get close to Miss Patty and get to talk to her or somehow think I'm gonna get a payday from that stuff. I'm not worried about Ryan. I don't think I'm not Andrea. I don't think Ryan is paying all these people. Does he interact and know about it that's going on? Sure, I'm sure he does. Then again, maybe it's so small compared to all that he's got going on, he don't even care or notice. Nobody's talking about that. So yeah, you can talk about all the time that Ryan this, Ryan that, and then says, "Oh, I'm not going to talk about it." And this, that, and then people have the fucking you, the ones I'm talking about, you have the fucking nerve to say, like I told Beachside, or I said in my status, I didn't tell him, you're pictured Beachside just from Alive last night on Johnny's, where Johnny's talking about leaving this stuff. Same fucking thing I went through. Wanting to leave, not knowing if you should leave or continue on, back and forth, get made fun of about it and everything. And you said that he had a skin tough as a gator. Well, if that's the case, why didn't he jump on fucking, or was getting on anonymous to let the panel back up or whatever? You people, you will say right 1 minute and then you'll say left. I mean, you'll say right and then left within 10 seconds and then back again. You can't keep your own bullshit straight. So you just double down and keep repeating it. So do me a favor, or do yourselves a favor. I don't give a shit. Come up with some more original shit, all right? Because your shit's getting so old. I don't even care. It was the first time that I probably actually went through and didn't expect. They keep trying to make something new about me, bitch. But Anonymous, you just letting people come in there and harass me, but then you talk shit about the very same people because they do the same thing to another person who has been quoted saying that, oh, they ain't done me as worse as they done him. But never mind all that. Go back to talking about Rusty Truck or what the fuck ever. I'm just the crazy one. I'm just the off-handle and unhinged one that everyone says. And then what I just said, all the words and collections and phrases of shit that I say, you have your little side channels, cut it up, and make it seem like that I flat out said one thing when it was a part of a whole collection of something that when you listen to it all, it actually means something completely different. So you want to keep doubling down doing stupid shit like that. I'm not even gonna, this is the last lip service you get to hear from me about it. If you catch my drift. All right, let's go on with the news. Fuck this shit. Bunch of bullshit, I swear. Yeah, it's TMZ, but I think this video is very interesting. All right. Missing Alabama woman Carly Russell pulled over before vanishing. I haven't heard anything about this. So we're going to watch this video since it's the first thing I came across, and then I'm going to do some digging, all right? Let's get into it. As you can see, there's a car that's pulled over. They're already in the pullover lane, and they got their hazards on, and I'd say they're going 10 miles, 15 miles per hour, maybe. But what's interesting here, and I noticed this at the beginning of the video, and I don't get it, it's like a glare, and because I don't understand, because at the synchronization of her flashing lights, the lights start up ahead of her car, above right up there, and then they go to the back. This obviously some type of interstate overpass camera along some exit. So she's pulling up. You see how the light, and then as she's pulling up, but it's like those lights are slowly going. I don't understand that effect. See, I had to press pause and pause and pause just to get the lights to stay illuminated up there because each time they're flashing, they're going away. But those two lights you see back, I just be interesting to know what effect that is, or I mean, because it's going at the same rate as her light, so it's got to be a reflection. But what causes that? It's got my mind hung up on it. And this is not a short video either. I mean, this is a 4-minute clip. I haven't watched it all yet. I just started the first 20 seconds. So about there, it seems like she stopped. And if y'all can see, there's a car signaling over to the right. Let me make this bigger. I apologize for the quality. That's as big as I can make it. There's a car right here that's going over to the right, like into the right lane. Like it's pulling over almost. Yeah. So it went over to the right lane at the same time, about the time this woman stopped there. And you still see the lights flashing. Another car is passing. The right lane's empty right now. A car on the left's passing. So if you look now, you see how people are getting over to the left if they can. There's a truck that can't get over, so it's going in front of her car, still flashing, still there. Now we got headlights that are going out, so it's going to get black. There's another set of lights. It's like glaring out. What the fuck causes that? Alright, it kind of started to slow down there. Just from the title, I mean, it's just like something you can't not watch because from it alleges that this car that we're looking at is going to disappear just out of thin air. Or maybe the car is not missing. Is it just her? I don't know. Like I said, this is brand new. I just get into it. Because if we're about to see that car disappear, it's going to be some fucking story. But maybe it's we see this car pull over. Someone was driving it, and now the person that was supposedly driving it's gone. That might be what it is. I may have misread the title. You know, been led to believe it's something else. Car's still there. Okay, now we got an arrow that's been popped up. This is a WBRC Fox 6 News on your side. I imagine this could be potentially like a weather cam. The news station paid for it. Could be part of it may be a government or city county cam. I don't know. Um, they're pointing at something that's illuminating up here at the top right, just to the top right angle of this first blue sign. It's just a little bit slightly to the bottom right of where that car is positioned on your screen. Holy shit. It's like a yellow light. Now it's right above the mile marker sign. And the very next mile marker is where that car was at. Let's go back to that. Now that yellow light makes me almost wonder, is that a trick or something happening with this type of footage? All right, that yellow thing went like all the way. If you can see my mouse, the yellow thing came here, came down to here, and then down to here, and now it's off screen. That car that pulled over is still up there, so maybe that light was the person. It's got to be what it is. Something about a missing or about a helping a child. That's what I'm saying. How do they know so much about it? We're gonna have to really look into this, you guys, because this got my attention. All right, so, but that looks like it's coming from the air. So I don't. And it's moving really fucking fast to be somebody walking. Disappears right about down there into that ditch, right? That last sign you can barely see. And this is fucking something else. I don't know what this is. Okay. Okay, so she pulled over and apparently got out the car. Let's go to a YouTube tab and see what we can find. She's back home. She's back home. Well, we ain't got nothing to worry about, y'all.
Questions this morning about what happened to an Alabama woman who was missing for 2 days and is now reunited with her family. Carly
Damn, I was behind.
Russell disappeared after calling 911 about seeing a child alone on the side of the highway.
Okay.
I think a massive
Makes more sense now.
police search. News coverage and social media brought eyes to this disappearance. Well, she returned home Saturday. So where was she? Roxana Saberi is in Hoover, Alabama. Roxana, good morning.
Good morning, Nate. Investigators here in Hoover say they're still piecing together what exactly happened to Russell while she was missing. CBS News reached out to Russell's mother. She said her family isn't ready to comment just yet, except to say they're grateful Russell is home and safe. A sprawling 2-day statewide search came to an end when police say Carly Russell appeared at her family's front door Saturday night.
She was there, and then she wasn't, and now she's home, which is the result we wanted. And all those other things in between will figure out.
Police say the 25-year-old nursing student returned to her house by foot around 49 hours after she went missing from the side of a highway. They say on Thursday night, Russell called 911 and then a family member to report a toddler in a diaper walking alone along the highway. She told them
This is weird.
she was pulling over to check on the boy. That's captured in this traffic camera footage.
She has a big heart, and when she got out the car, she did tell my daughter-in-law, I can't just leave. I can't just leave this little child on the side of the road.
Russell's family says she called out to the child while on the phone, but there was no response. They say Russell then screamed. When police arrived minutes later, they found her wig, cell phone, and purse near her car, but no sign of her or a child.
We currently are investigating every possibility in this case. We're certainly leaving nothing off the table.
Police have not released any details about what happened to Russell, but someone claiming to be her boyfriend wrote online that Russell was fighting for her life for 48 hours, adding she's not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper. Russell was taken to the hospital Saturday night
Whoa.
and released the following morning. There are no updates on her.
Man, I don't know why, but I don't know why, it's a weird thought, but I'd feel like I'm not being authentic if I don't share it. So part of me is going, was this like a stunt or something? But then after seeing that guy say that, I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking about it. It's really strange.
Her condition.
The Hoover police chief would not confirm or deny if Russell was abducted. Now, about the child she reportedly saw on the side of the highway, police say there have been no reports of a missing child in Alabama or in the surrounding states.
Holy shit, guys. Well, this is close and unfortunate. Looks like we have somebody that was shot that died. So take a moment. I hate seeing stories like this. And in a way, the more and more you see it, more and more a person can think about and it's actually thinking about how you can't think possibly how you'd react if that same thing happened to you that you're hearing about in the news. And so when it does happen or happens close or in any way where it can affect some people more, I get to where people would want stricter regulation on this thing or that, but that's the thing is that the argument that I have always thought of is and it's not really argument more as it's the damn right truth. Banning certain things, yeah, okay, it makes it harder for those things to get out there, but it also increases the demand, which then you have the black market. And I don't care what you ban. If you ban look at the UK. They have total, no Second Amendment, but if you just look at the last 10 to 15 years in the UK, knife attacks just have went up, and that's what I'm saying. It's not about the knife, the rock, or the gun. It's about person, because if a person is depraved or to the point that they're gonna hurt someone else, unless there are signs that come out before it happens, which you do see documented in some instances, but even when you see them documented and you're looking back, hindsight's 2020, so it's always hard. But so my point is, you never are gonna almost know what someone is going to do, and they even sometimes don't. It's real hard to explain and talk about, because on the one hand, we've seen instances where people will say, I'll never do something like that, and then they end up doing it through some way or another. Give me an example, I'll never do drugs. Someone saying when they're younger they'll never do drugs, and they go through the DARE program, and then they get older and they find out they ended up try drugs and they didn't know what they were saying when they were a kid, whatever. So how do you predictive police, which is what we're seeing in some new areas, which is really turning out to be harassment? I need to find the video on that predictive people getting cited and visited from the police, just because they may have had an encounter in the past or something or another. Like, I don't know if any of y'all heard about that, but it's actually a thing. Like, yeah. So the answer seems to always be more government, more rules, more regulation, and it doesn't make anyone safer. It just creates a newer and unknown environment with different rules, and the regular person at the end of the day is going to be the one that gets affected the most.
Well, there is new information right now on an overnight murder at a Hampton Avenue gas station and convenience store.
So the Power of Two's Chris Frenier is live at the scene with new details
A
about
convenience
this.
store, gas station. What could be the most amount of money somebody thinks they might could get out of a convenience store? Maybe $10,000, maybe. And that's if you can gather it all together, get out of there in enough time without getting, this is one of the most common types of robberies, crimes you see and happen. And I've not seen, there's nobody getting up and saying, oh, we need to ensure that they have this or that, people think it's crazy, the idea here in our state that at some, I don't know if it's all, but at schools, and I'm not just talking about a resource officer, our teachers are able, and they have a sign up that says that they're trained and will defend their students. Like and I'm sure people have seen videos like I have of a clerk, defending themselves back. It happened at Joe's drive-through down in Florida, so banning The Rock or making a decree, you can't use this or that, or they're illegal. Like that, I don't get where people think that someone's going to go, oh, damn, guys, we can't do that. It's against the law. A criminal's not going to do that. They don't have a care or respect or fear at all for the law. A good example of someone like that would be, Filthy Animal.
Victim. Chris, what can you tell us?
Blair and John, good morning to both of you. Homicide detectives confirming just a short time ago that the person who was killed in this case was indeed the clerk at the gas station and convenience store here, this BP gas station and convenience store at Hampton and Berthold. We are also learning from homicide detectives that this whole episode started with a conflict over the victim's Honda Accord, the red car just behind us here. Police telling us that someone, either a suspect or suspects, pulled onto the lot here about 3:30 this morning. Someone got out of that suspect vehicle, tried to steal the clerk's car here. The clerk came outside. There was a confrontation, and the clerk was shot and killed. You can see over by the front door to convenience store.
That's horrible.
Area there is shattered glass. There were evidence markers over there earlier with apparent shell casings from shots that were fired during the course of this confrontation. We can show you some video from earlier. We were able to capture police putting a handgun that was found just inside the front door here, putting that handgun into an evidence bag, taking that away. They were also dusting the victim's car here for fingerprints earlier as well. This all unfolded about 3:30 this morning here at the BP gas station and convenience store at Hampton and Berthold. We are just off Highway 40. During the day, this is a very busy intersection here in West St. Louis. Police telling us that the victim in this case, only identified at this point as an adult male, was shot in the head. He was not conscious or breathing when he was taken from the scene here. We did see first responders trying to perform life-saving measures on the man here. Tragically, those were not successful. We talked earlier with a man who was sleeping outside of a business next door here. He says he came in here a couple of hours before this all happened and everything seemed fine. He spoke with the clerk. He described the clerk as a very nice man. Here is some of what this person told us a little bit earlier this morning when we spoke with him.
I'm pretty shaken up because this is the store I go to, and I know all the employees. They know me as well, and they're nice people. And I just can't believe this happened. I'm pretty shaken up. I don't know what's going on here in Dogtown. I've lived here for a long time, but it's not the place it used to be, and I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Detectives still trying to find answers as well. I asked them earlier if they had any kind of a suspect description, perhaps description on the suspect's vehicle that we could put out, perhaps assist police in finding what they need to find here. At this point, they can only say that they are searching for a dark color vehicle. They are reviewing surveillance images. As you might imagine, this is a fairly busy intersection, very busy, in fact, and there are lots of cameras at this store and also at businesses in this immediate area. There's a Courtesy Diner right across the street, a Subway right up here.
Well, don't be pointing out all the potential bit. I mean, come on now. I mean, that's obvious already, but I just worry, like, what if they were to find out and trying to, although it'd be too late because, they're not going to, I guess that was a dumb criticism. Nah, my bad, guys.
Here, and then buildings right next door
Just
as
be
well.
like, hey, criminals, if you're watching, all these places potentially got pictures of you, like, I'm just saying.
Police and another gas station right across the street. Also, police will surely be reviewing all of those surveillance cameras to try and put together what they can. But Blair and John were getting them.
I hope they're caught. That's fucked up. Tried to steal his car. It's almost like they were using the ploy of stealing his car just to get him to come out in case he had. Maybe they were worried if he had a weapon or something. I want to react to this. I haven't seen this video. It's always good to watch a video.
Prosecutors will use tricks to put you behind bars. So we'll ask a former state prosecutor who's now switched over to the bright side of a criminal defense attorney.
So says the cop.
There we go. What are the tricks, Tom? What are the tricks that prosecutors are going to use to put people behind bars?
Yeah. Well, look, I'll save the biggest one for last. But with that out of the way, one of the big ones is it's not really a trick so much as it is just what I see day in and day out, which is someone gets into trouble or they're suspected of trouble. The cops go up to them and they say, they kind of size them up and down. They're like, look, just help me out. Just give me, explain what's going on. And, there's all sorts of different rules and this and that as far as.
This is your chance to help yourself.
Exactly. Look, I'll make this go really easy with the prosecutor. And keep in mind, cops are allowed to lie to you about just about everything. There's a couple things they're not allowed to lie to you about, but for the most part, they're allowed to lie to you about things. So if a police officer lies to you and gets some sort of confession or statement, which the prosecutor can then we'll say maybe creatively use, or and sometimes they don't have to do that. Very oftentimes, most times they don't have to do that, because while people think they're talking themselves out of a situation, they're really just talking themselves into jail time, prison time, or probation or something like that.
Exactly. I can be the unfortunate voice to say that I was innocent of something, found innocent. In fact, it was to be cleared. All right, there was no charges ever brought because there was no case. However, I did spend 24 hours, exactly 24 hours and 10, 15, 20 so minutes locked up, and that number one is the exact, came to the door late at night. It was fucking like way past. I mean, they knew what my usual schedule was. Like, because I actually heard from someone later on, like, well, they said, you know why they done that? They said because they knew you'd be, they come, when something, especially when what was alleged and how it was. And I don't want to get all into it. It's fucked up. I had to fucking get a protective order out of it. I mean, this dude was just bananas, and these people wonder why. Like, I'm actually legitimately worried and not okay with the harassment and stuff that's coming from Filthy and all them others. So, because this is someone that was in my fucking area. I mean, and even though these people aren't in my area, they know, they have, like, you get it. So that was literally what, well, tell me what's going on, because, I'm we need to talk about some things, and, I mean, you just help yourself out, because, I mean, that's the exact type of, I don't even know the exact phrase, but I know, like, help or help me explain that was what it was. And me thinking, well, I'll explain it and he'll get it, no problem. I got the same issue when it comes to topics and being on here. Like, and, or not the same issue, but like, people bring stuff up just to want me to expound on it, to then use that as content to poke holes, or, creatively poke holes, just like he said a prosecutor could use.
Look, it's you have to be extraordinarily careful if you're going to decide to play the game of I'm going to be talking to the police, because focusing back,
because anything you say is not, and I've heard it phrased in two different ways. Anything you say may or can period will be used against you. It's not no, I mean, it ought to be phrased like anything you say could be used to help eliminate or, exonerate or convict you. It ought to be worded either way, because the way it's phrased is almost like anything you say is going to be used to convict your ass.
From the prosecutors are going to be hammering you with that. Over a decade ago, when I was a state prosecutor, I would informally estimate at the time that maybe as high as 90% of my cases I could probably prove either significantly or entirely based off statements
from the arrested
people.
individuals.
Right.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's quite interesting that you put the number that high.
It's very high. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't in a major metropolitan area. I was in a very large suburb of a major metropolitan area. So it could be that if I was in a different area, whether it was colored more rural or colored more urban, those numbers may radically go up and down, right? But in the area where I was, for the most part, it's a lot of repeat customers, all that kind of stuff. And usually those people wise up to the fact of, well, talking to the cops got me convicted the last 8 times. Maybe I should take a different course.
But first, we have a super secret giveaway going on right now that you can enter for.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it in low or not high profile cases, but you here on YouTube, you come across so many like notorious or current or not so long ago cases, and it's amazing how many people, it works. The psychological stuff works.
Free, but it ends really soon. Just click the link in the description below to reveal what it is. And here's a hint. It's gun-shaped. Let's get back to the other tricks that prosecutors can use, Tom.
So saving the biggest one for last, but I'll move to the second one, which can be extraordinarily frustrating for clients and folks in the criminal justice system, which is the fact that prosecutors will use the rules of evidence, and defense attorneys do it too, but prosecutors will absolutely use the rules of evidence to try to hold out the problems in their case. So, for instance, if they've got some sort of precious snowflake victim in some sort of gun case or some sort of self-defense case, i.e., let's say I have the righteous good guy as the defense attorney, and they've got, you know, the 10-time loser who's been on probation in and out of prison his whole life. Obviously, my client says, well, great. The fact that he's spent more years in prison than out, and he's 40 right now, I mean, the jury's going to be able to hear about that, right? No. Really good chance they're not. I mean, maybe they'll catch a whiff of it, but they're definitely not going to hear the whole thing.
And is that because all of his prior actions didn't lead up to this or didn't cause this most recent action? Is that why we do this?
Yes. I mean, basically, the way that the rules of evidence are shaped is we're supposed to be trying each fact and each incident kind of in and of itself.
Okay.
Now, there can be ways how either reputations, prior criminal convictions, and so forth can come in and the jury can hear about it, sometimes in very low resolution detail, sometimes in somewhat higher resolution detail. But the bottom line remains the fact that they're not going to be able to hear the whole thing. And that can be really difficult, because if I've got a righteous good guy who's never been in trouble in his or her entire life, and they have this notion that the justice system, if I do everything right, is going to be on my side, and suddenly they're like, wait, the guy's been in and out of prison. The jury doesn't even get to hear that. I'm going to be basically put on the same level as that guy. Yeah. Welcome to my day. All right. Last and most is definitely prosecutors overcharging cases. And to be clear, I'm by no means.
Oh, man. Now, I'm surprised this wasn't earlier on the list, because I was just looking at that case. Like, I don't know any of you that have been out there and seen or how deep you got into Tiger King on Netflix, but I've watched the whole Tiger King doc now, and I've started into the second one, and I find both those guys, and what's funny is I looked up and saw that the second guy, what's he go by, Doc, is actually finally been charged with stuff. And he, from what I've seen so far, it seems like, you know, he definitely, but I don't know, like it's something else. I'll just put it that way. I'm not going to make any silly state, because I haven't seen probably everything to do with it and other stuff online. You know, just watching, I usually don't try to watch like a mainstream documentary on stuff, but more so research it on independent outlets or whatever. But yeah, it's quite a story. I don't know where I was when all that shit was going on.
Suggesting every single prosecutor does this, or even,
but it's like he got charged with that murder for hire thing, and it's like they were holding out, and then all of a sudden, as some other people were talking, that it looked to me from the doc were worried that they were going to be implicated, made a deal. And we all know how a lot of people online feel about people that go informant or make deals. And I could not believe that not one, and another dude that it was already a felon, and another one already a felon, all three of them talked openly about, oh, you know, like, I don't get it, because it's like they're in my dad's older age range and stuff, so I don't see how they could just be so cavalier about it, like they didn't do anything because they're involved. It's crazy ass.
Even that the majority of prosecutors do this, but there are absolutely positively prosecutors who do this. All right. Their proportion in district attorney's offices, maybe there's almost none in one office, and maybe the next office will have just a huge number of them, because there's a culture, and that's just the way the young prosecutors are trained. But when I say overcharging a case, if you were to take a bunch of seasoned people from the justice system, you know, judges, prosecutors, criminal defense attorneys, and we were to give them kind of these one-page fact patterns. Okay, here's what this guy's accused of doing. Just make things up, right? Odds are good that when it comes to all right, what should this person be charged with? There's going to be kind of a mainstream range of like, okay, here's the spectrum of like, you could charge them with this. These are kind of the very, very safe charges. You could probably push it to here. But I assure you, there's going to be some people who are going to go, no. You could absolutely charge, that reckless as a homicide. You can absolutely charge, this thing as that thing, and overcharging the cases. And as a result, maybe your client, my client, is now facing decades behind bars instead of a more reasonable charge to fit their fact pattern. May have been, some misdemeanors. Now all of a sudden they're facing a felony. Why is that relevant? Well, aside from the fact that maybe now they're facing decades behind bars as opposed to years of jail, and both of those are, if you have an innocent person, absolutely unacceptable. But the problem is that a good guy quite often,
And who's innocent? Everybody is. And that's what's so important about this book. And I will share the video. You Have the Right to Remain Innocent by James Duane. I had to get this book, and after I watched the critical or the viral lecture, Don't Talk to the Police, which has over 21 million views. It's using actual case history of innocent men and women exonerated after decades in prison. And I can't even imagine that. Having to spend decades somewhere, and I don't have anything to do other than happenstance or whatever to be there. I didn't do anything wrong. Because of information they voluntarily gave to police, law professor James Duane demonstrates the critical importance of a constitutional right not well or widely understood by the average American, your right to remain silent. Reflecting the most recent attitudes of the Supreme Court, Duane argues that it is now easier for police to use your own words against you. And this book explains what you need to know to protect yourself.
Not all the times, but a good guy quite often will have a very different risk profile than a lot of the normal people.
And I
in the
need to
justice
read
system.
it even more, and people probably need to read it so much because you think this stuff and you hear it, then you get out somewhere or a new day happens and a series of things and you don't remember it. And then, well, it's too late.
System. A good guy is going to say, look, I've got kids, I've got obligations and responsibilities that I just can't take a 6-month or 1-year hiatus for in jail.
Yeah.
I can't do that, right? But I absolutely cannot do a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year hiatus either, right? So the risk profile oftentimes can lead them, depending upon the individual, to become much more risk adverse than somebody who, for whatever reason, may be much more risk tolerant. So if you're much more risk adverse, again, going back to that person who's, let's say they're 50 years old, they've got kids in high school, they're married, they've got a great career, and they shot someone in self-defense, and it's, look, what the prosecutor's offering you is if you go to trial and lose, you're probably going to do 10, 20 years prison, or you can eat these felony or misdemeanor charges, and they're offering you 6 months jail with 5 years probation or something like that. One of those ends the game.
Yeah.
It ends the game that you're
You
playing
make it
all
all
life.
go away.
Right. The other one is this is going to be absolutely awful and it's going to be extraordinarily destructive, but my life isn't over. I can get out and keep moving on.
Yeah.
So prosecutors have an extraordinary amount of power in our justice system. Realistically,
It's what got me interested so much in the whole thing was trying to understand and get how just the courtroom worked. You may call that fate, whatever, but just from the people I knew that had to deal with it and the way the court system's so enriched, the prosecutor became the focus of study early on, because they almost even seem to have more power than the judge does.
Judges, juries, and defense attorneys, to one level or another, all serve as checks on the discretion that we as a society knowingly empower prosecutors with. And there's many, many, many wonderful prosecutors who take that responsibility extraordinarily seriously. And they understand that even coming out with criminal charges themselves can be life destroying for many folks. And there's other people, unfortunately, at the other end of that prosecutorial spectrum who are extraordinarily just hyper aggressive, cavalier, casual. They will overcharge, and it can get extraordinarily ugly for some very good people very quickly.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for the insight, Tom. Very helpful.
Very good insight. I always like Tom. Make sure you check out Tom Grieve or USSCA. We'll just check out one more, and then I like to switch it up, and we'll look at some more news. But
Tom,
USCCA and Tom put out some good stuff.
they're asking us to put on our prognostication headgear this time. Folks, I'm here with noted criminal defense attorney Tom Grieve, and we're going to talk about the gun laws we see coming down the road. What do we think is going to happen in the area of gun law in the future? And I'm going to throw it right out there. We saw it in Illinois, the assault weapons ban now being expanded out to pistols with threaded barrels and other kinds of craziness. How do you see that going if you were to have to look into the future and say, what kind of craziness are politicians going to be throwing out there at us with an assault weapons ban?
Well, I think AWB's assault weapons bans kind of fall into there's two columns in them, right? You've got the weapons that they're targeting, as well as how they're targeting them, which is usually a combination of specifically naming specific weapons of this is banned, this is banned, this is banned, this is banned by make, model, manufacturer. This is what we've seen in the playbook, whether it's in the 90s with the Clinton assault weapon ban, or whether that's more recently in Illinois and elsewhere. And then they also ban it by features. Right. Well, you can't have a pistol grip. You can't have a telescoping stock. You can't have,
the bayonet lug was the one that always got me going.
A threaded muzzle, like just on and on and on. Right. So they usually use a combination of approaches to make sure that they basically get everything. So that's one thing. That's one column. The other column is targeting magazines. Right. So-called large capacity magazines, i.e. normal capacity magazines.
Standard capacity magazines.
Standard capacity magazines. Right. We saw Rhode Island enact a magazine ban where they capped it at 10. I've heard that there's another state right now that is doing an 8-round magazine ban because apparently all you need is like revolvers, micro compacts from 5 years ago, and a good old 1911.
Wow.
It's apparently that's it. That's all you need for self-defense.
I never heard of that.
And of course, there's details about how they're enacted. So for instance, is there grandfathering provision? Is there no grandfathering provision? And if there is a grandfathering provision, what happens to those weapons? Can you still use them as you would have the day before everything was enacted? Or is it more like Illinois where, nope, there's all sorts of strings about what you're allowed to transport, use, carry. You may not be able to even use your normal capacity magazine for concealed carry. You may have to use a low capacity one. So at any rate, without getting lost in the weeds, that's kind of what we're looking at there. As far as what I think is going to happen to it, I mean, it's all going to wind up in the Supreme Court. That's what's going to happen. And that's kind of the good news to this whole picture. Is two things. Number one, the crazier these laws are, the more likely they are to be deemed unconstitutional. So if we imagine, because we have our prognosticator hats on, right?
Okay. That's what we have to, I mean, that's the basis of our foundation in America. It's the Constitution. 1 through, I mean, everything else is supposed to expound from that.
So if I've got my prognosticating headgear on, I'm going to say that if we want to create the best pro-Second Amendment law possible, then we want to see the craziest laws possible. I don't want borderline. I want something crazy. I want ugly facts and so forth. That is obviously awful if you live in one of these states. And I'm not by any stretch cheering or championing the legislatures and governors who are doing this. All I'm saying is, look, if we look at the long-term view on this, you want the crazy laws going up to the Supreme Court because that's what will maximize our chances of getting excellent case law to define and protect our rights.
Yeah, and getting those struck down, and it's not immediately. It's never
No,
immediate with the
years.
Supreme Court. But now the cases are actually coming to the court, so we're getting to see some resolution. But as more cases get resolved, crazier ideas come up, and people talk about those. Before we move on to, and I'll give you.
Wow. All right. I'm going to go on again. Make sure you check them out. Always a good channel. I'm not going to play that whole video. I'm going to react to something else. See, we got 7 people in here. That's all we need. We got a couple that want to be on their own, but mainly they're all, and we probably got actually 20 to 40 over on one channel that is the designated Restream E, aka sniping. Well, here we go. This is actually a good. This will explain what I couldn't put into words about why banning an object is not.
Do guns cause crime? If there are more guns, does that lead to more violent crime like homicides? And if there are less guns or more gun control, does that mean less crime? Wouldn't it be great if within about 10 to 12 minutes or so, an ex-prosecutor took some time to unpack the studies and statistics to bring you the truth? Let's get into it.
Exactly.
If guns are the driving force of the problem, they're the driving force of intentional violence, then we should see a statistical relationship between the amount of firearms in a given population and the amount of those problems flowing from them. After all, if guns are the problem, then more guns equals more problems, right? And likewise, the solution would be some sort of combination of more gun control and less guns equals less problems, right? Well, unfortunately, this is just not borne out by any of the statistics that we're going to be taking a look at here. Let's start off in the United States. I'm going to be putting the finer details, if you want to see them, into the description box below, simply to save time. I'm going to start off with some things that probably people will accept. According to various studies that I looked at, surprise, surprise, there's a higher ownership rate of firearms in rural versus city areas. Suburbs are somewhere in between. Also, perhaps unsurprisingly, Republicans are more likely to own guns than compared to Democrats, with once more independents being in between. There are a lot more Republicans that live in rural areas than in cities, and there's a lot more Democrats that live in city areas than in rural. If you basically comb through all these different studies, it tells you something that we all intuitively know. There are more guns per person in the country than there are in the city. In fact, there's about 60% of homes in rural areas have a firearm in it, as compared to less than 30% in the city. And again, suburbs are somewhere in between. So one way of looking at this problem is that if we looked at the amount of violence per person, places with more guns should be less safe. In other words, rural America should be far more dangerous. It should be far more violent with a lot more homicides.
We all know that ain't true. I don't think I need to hammer that on anymore. I said we were done with the USCC anyways. I'm just passing some fucking free time in the morning. Everybody's all, I bet they criticize me bad. Tyrants demand ID and detain the wrong journalist. Oh, why don't we see this? Shout out to Surreal Cam. 1.35K subscribers. See, I need to start doing that. If I started doing that on my live, so I'd have a shitload of things to fucking list. I have to do it as I went.
What's your name? I don't answer questions. So we're looking for somebody, and you look really, really similar to him. So you can either answer it and help yourself out.
What about that help yourself out? I just heard that.
My own way. It's up to you.
What do you mean you can identify you in your own way? It's up to me. What?
Are you going to identify yourself?
Can you back up?
Are you going to identify yourself?
Can you please back
Are you
up?
going to identify yourself?
Intimidation 101.
Please back
Are
up.
you going to identify yourself?
Back out of here with another great video, guys, and thank you for joining back into the Surreal Cam channel. If you're new, smash that subscribe along with the bell, and you know how much I love to expose the corruption we have within our government. What you're about to witness is typical tyrannical behavior and the big issue and problem that we have here in America with our law enforcement officers along with our government officials. 2 officers from the Fountain Police Department in Colorado, Andrew Anderson and Ivan Rodriguez, think they can do what they want bully people around and get what they want whenever they want in private property without even knowing the law and without even knowing that this man recording is innocent. Just because the man recording looks like the suspect, that doesn't give them the reason or any right to come up and do what they did to this man recording in this video. Today's video I'm bringing to you from a channel called Police the Police 719. If you're not subscribed to him yet, I highly recommend that you do. Let's go over there and show him some love and tell him I sent you, ladies and gentlemen. I think he did a fabulous job, in my opinion. I want to see you on the comment section and let me know what you guys think on this. I'm gonna leave this
Police the Police. We gotta check that out.
channel link down below, along in the description, along with the full video link, because there is more to this video. Also, from what it looks like to me, minutes before this man started recording, an incident had happened on this private property in this private home. Seems to me that the owner of this private property in this home are the man's friends. So he decided to push record for their safety. Now this happens. This is the situation.
Life situation, not speculation. Life situation, not speculation. How could you do this to me?
Who are you?
Don't worry about who he is. Worry about who
are you?
I am. Why don't you
Can
guys
you
get
get
on
out of my
camera when
face,
you guys
please?
did her house?
Can you get your light out of my face,
You guys
please? Who are
trashed
you?
her house.
I'm with them.
That was so
What's your name?
unnecessary.
Okay, I'm a little bit. All right.
I'll answer questions.
Oh, my
Don't
cats
answer
are gone.
questions. I'm
Hey,
asking you
hey, you,
nicely.
mister. Hey, you.
I'm asking
All
you
my cats are
nicely.
gone. There is tear gas in
Can't
my
even
house.
go in there.
All the broken windows.
holes in the fucking wall.
There's holes.
Like,
The
everything's
doors are
trashy.
Who did this?
Why did you need
Hold
to
on.
do
Who
that?
did this?
Why did you guys need
hey,
to do
calm
that
down,
in
calm
order to
down,
fucking
calm
look
down,
for
calm down.
somebody? Seriously, why?
They busted in their house with tear gas and stuff. What?
I don't understand. Why did you guys do this? Answer my question.
Yeah,
Why?
answer my question.
Why did
You.
you guys do this?
This one's a
This
death
is
mute.
fucked up, man.
So what's going
Answer
on
my
here?
question.
What did you do
Answer
to my
it.
house?
Huh?
I can't answer questions. if you
What's
guys
your
don't say
name?
your
I don't
name.
answer questions.
Huh? No, we literally got both sides asking questions and saying they can't answer questions.
So we're looking for somebody, and you look really,
Okay, so why did
really
you
similar
use
to
that?
him.
Why did you
So you
trash
can
it?
either answer it and help
Oh,
yourself
this is
out,
not my
Why
or I
did
can just identify you in my own way. It's up to you.
Trash her
Somebody
house.
with a
Dumbass.
felony warrant that you look exactly like, that I have a picture
Really?
of.
So that calls for you
So I'm
to
asking
trash
you
her
to
house.
just be cool
You
about
guys
it.
couldn't
Huh?
look without trashing her
He's
house.
looking at the picture right
Yeah,
now.
look at the picture. I mean, I get some people look similar, but I mean, you're like, right? You can't tell by the photograph, and I don't know. You need to get like a. I don't know what the law calls for that.
Are you a
sergeant?
Yes,
Are
he
you a
is.
sergeant?
No,
I
he's
won't
a
talk to
sergeant.
you then. You guys couldn't look without trashing it. That's
Hey.
so
Windows.
fucked
Hey,
up.
look
Look
like
at
it.
the door.
Can you guys calm down so I can
I'm sorry,
record
I'm
this?
sorry.
I need to
I'm
record
sorry.
this. Everybody calm down.
This guy is
fucked up.
This guy is.
Here's your fucking tight shirt.
So who are you? Why
I'm not going to answer
He has been
questions.
filming you and you
Okay.
and all of them.
Okay.
He is
You're
not
not going to
my
identify
son.
yourself?
He is not.
Are you going to
Andy.
identify yourself? Can you back up? Are you going to identify yourself? Can you please back
It
up?
looks like he just, or whoever they're looking for, the mother, woman, whoever, she just said that he's not. So, you know, what do they need? Do they need him to say, "Oh, I'm not him"? Is that gonna automatically give more reason to arrest? I don't understand.
Can you please back up? Are you going to identify yourself? Can you please back up?
Oh, poor baby in blue. He's getting a little butthurt. He's getting a little cranky and going on a little power trip just because he's not getting his ways and he's not getting his little ID fix. So that's Ivan Rodriguez right there that you see that's about to commit that kidnapping, along with the Mr. Sergeant in the back of us right there, Andrew Anderson. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but I do not have badge numbers. All of us know, most of us know in this country, that for us to show ID to any law enforcement, you have to commit a crime, about to, or have committed a crime. Screen will turn black right now, just for a few minutes. You gotta blame that on Mr. Ivan Rodriguez. I apologize though, but you can hear everything that's going on. It's very important. That's why.
Where's your ID? I don't have it on. You don't have it on you. Awesome. So go ahead and stand up for me. You don't believe it was? That's okay. I got my phone. Yep. Let me ask you a simple question. You don't have any idea on your own whatsoever, right? Okay, good.
I met him up at the corner because I was
This is the reason why not a bad idea. And I think we'll start seeing a trend. And we're already starting. People are already starting to do it. Of getting an actual, like, consumer grade or even police grade or whatever body camera, and wearing it when they go out. It's not a bad thing. And it'd be even better if the technology has the ability to, as it's recording, put it on a server, so that way person rips it off or whatever, there's video of all that leading up to it being taken offline.
Brian, so okay. No! What the fuck? The guy was just helping. What are you guys doing? He was helping us. He was filming.
Probably, now that I think about it, people may think I'm silly or whatever, but I'll probably end up buying one myself.
You! And they were filming you. And
I
they
mean,
were filming you. You've been
I gotta
filmed.
get a new car. Like, I wouldn't drive a car without one. Definitely wouldn't. I don't see how anyone, after all that time driving for Lyft, would not drive, even for myself, with how I experienced growing up, first getting my driver's license, and the tactics the police will use, especially if you're driving. It's so much easier to get you caught up in an encounter.
All my neighbors.
It's a lot harder when you don't drive or you're not the one driving. A lot harder.
Has been filmed since the moment both of us stepped out of our cars. Okay.
Yeah, but
We're
by
here-
civilians.
We're here for call for service. Okay.
But I told you.
Call for fucking service. Yeah. What about a call for service from, like, what if I got devious and hateful towards somebody and I decided, I'm going to call in a service and say that, I'm so-and-so, and I'm doing this and that, and pretend to be them, or report that, they were just live on a social media platform or something and they said this and that. And number one, they don't have them provide the so-called, that they don't verify it, or if they do verify it and they don't, particularly, or if it's a troubled person that they've had encounters with before, they might say, well, I didn't see anything that suggests that, but fuck it, we'll use it anyways because of the call. Because the call is recorded automatically and filed with 911. You call 911 and you don't tell them it was an accident, someone's most likely going to show up. I mean, it's not no most likely, they will show up.
Know who
Just
you are.
go in the
Don't
house.
need to identify him. I need to identify this guy. If he's going to refuse to identify us, or identify
You don't
himself,
like
There
it.
are stop and ID states, so as always, I'm not a professional. This is not to be legal or medical advice. Always consult with a local professional that you trust in these matters. Entertainment, information, and educational purposes only.
Because he's got you on film. You
It's
don't
still
like it.
recorded. If I didn't
You
like it, I
don't
wouldn't.
like
Only opinion.
Because he's got you on film. He was filming.
That's exactly what they don't like. They never like being on film. And that's why I try to, if you're in a situation where you're going to confront them and it's not explicitly illegal to record, which usually in public places it's not, get a lapel cam or put your phone in your pocket, don't be so confrontational and be like, here, it's all official on record. Here, go ahead and lie. Come on. That you might as well say that I said that dialogue that sounds stupid, but that's what you might as well be saying if you do that.
Yeah, sure you know.
I wasn't.
Oh, that one does.
Kept his camera down, couldn't see nothing for way over a minute or something. Like, is this the cop fucking walking away with it?
Did you guys arrest that guy?
he's being questioned about his identity.
He's not my brother. I don't. That guy was
Hell yeah, they got his phone.
live streaming to TikTok or whatever.
And
he's not related
it
to
still
Ernie.
is.
Why is he in trouble?
Because he failed to identify himself.
So what? He's not Andy. You can pull up Andy's picture and look and clearly see it's not him.
All right, so they're looking for this person's brother, and it's not him clearly, but I don't know. They ain't got nothing better to do, I guess.
Clearly see. Look at this picture. You guys got the fucking paper. Here's the
And the fact that the cop knows it's still streaming live and he's not bothering it is something else. It'd be funny to know if there's like trolls in the comments commenting shit, hoping that he sees it. That'd be the only, like, that's what got me wrong first coming on here, was because, and it's almost made me to where like I'm anti any troll group or type of content that's about exposing another, because the ends don't justify the means, but to those groups, just like other things, they do. And more often than not, there's lies involved, everything, just like when I was looking into Johnny's story and what people were saying about him. I just like I'm not perfect as well as anybody else. I'm sure that from watching and stuff, you can always draw criticism from anybody. Maybe more on some than others, depending on who you ask. But when that's all the focus is that stuff, like it's usually there's another motive underlying or tied to it, and not everybody knows about that. They just know what the bulletin points are that keep getting repeated, so they say that. They don't understand that person A and B have it out for person C because of what happened with person D and E. So FG into the whole rest of the alphabet has to take up for D and E. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sure somebody that watches will.
Hold on a second. He looks just like that dude. Just he has more facial hair here than in that picture.
Yeah, of course you're saying that.
He does look like him, though.
Well, at least they fucking acknowledge it's not him.
Oh, shit. Sure.
There you go.
Thanks for the lawsuit. And look at this shit, guys. Look at this. And I need the call number
Good luck on that.
for 2. The call number, so I could pull up the records for the body cam and everything. There you go. You can write it on that one.
You can write it down. You
I don't have a
got
pen.
phone. Take a note.
The call
Take a
records.
note. Actually, you're recording, right?
Hey, I give credit and props to the man behind this camera, Police to Police 719, for the way he stood his grounds. And after the fact, in a situation like this, which you're going to witness now, how calm he was, which is very hard to do after a situation like this, because trust me, I know from experience.
163116.
Thank you, Sergeant, for being cordial.
Cordial.
Yep.
Yeah. Next time somebody actually identify yourself because you look like
It's
somebody,
not a
you should
crime,
probably
though.
do that.
It's not a crime.
If you look like somebody that committed a crime, I
It's
mean,
not
how
a
about
crime.
differentiate yourself so you're not that person? That's so easy. All right.
All right. You guys are dismissed. Have a good night.
See you later, Shade.
Yeah. I'm putting this in my pocket. You know I don't have weapons.
Okay, go ahead. I already searched you. No, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll do it.
And you said the cuffs wasn't tight and that you wouldn't loosen them. He said, "Oh, just turn over." And you as a sergeant, man, come on. You should have known better. You should be like, "Hey, he's asking to loosen the cuffs just a little bit." It's more than just YouTube now. YouTube, Instagram, all of it. Mostly Instagram, but
I don't follow any of them, unfortunately, so I don't know. Yeah, are we good over here? Okay, awesome.
all right.
See you
Dismissed.
later, Shane.
Yep.
Have a
Walk
good
of
night,
shame.
Shane.
Tyrants like you, man, that makes America great. Hours later, after being tackled by Fountain Police in Colorado, Fountain Police Department in the state of Colorado. The wrist is still swollen and hurting. You see the marks still on my wrist. Pants are still covered. I got tackled by Fountain Police Department in Colorado for not giving my name. I have a right to ask, but I have a legal right to deny.
Hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for staying tuned to the end. Don't forget to go give police.
I'll check him out.
What's up, y'all? It's PTP 719. We're back with another live stream. We're off of Airport and Academy. We got some Sand Creek Division cops down here in this parking lot. Looks like they're harassing some people, so we're gonna see what's going on.
Those cops were disappointed they couldn't find your
Looks like
vehicle.
we got two
Yeah, like I said, they always want a vehicle's a lot easier to interact with.
cop cars here. When I drove by, I'm pretty sure there was 4.
Because if they don't have a warrant or something like in the previous video, you know, they gotta have a call or some other reason to begin an interaction.
See what's going on. If that's the unit number I'm thinking it is, that's the female cop.
I'd be careful just walking up to them though.
The red hair tall bitch that
Red hair, you say?
is fucking with Corrupt Rado. This other unit number is 2128. 2128. So here we go. We got 2 unit numbers, 2171, 2128. We're right in front of Bingo World off of Academy. So if anything happens, that's where we're at. Oh my goodness, would you look at this? Both of these cops were there when Corrupt Rado got arrested for a flashlight, guys. So this might get interesting.
They tried to say it was a taser or something, I wonder. See, that's what they need to do in these interactions. They don't, and they have such a habit of like, oh, let me go and see about this person. Like, it's obvious the person's filming, and you know, I don't know this guy this much. I just subscribe to his channel, so I'm not saying it about him. But you never know when someone, you know, obviously there's people that go up and do this just for the simple fact of trying to elicit a response and get it on camera. You know, he's obviously does this for his audits or something, so I'm not saying he's doing that because he ain't got close to him or anything. He's not done anything irresponsible so far.
Huh. Ain't that funny? Soon as I get here, scatter like fucking cockroaches. Wonder what they were doing. Acting like tyrants, maybe? Fucking dismissed. You get a big fuck you. Both of these cops are fucking worthless. Both of these fucking cops are worthless. You guys see him driving? Fucking worthless ass. There they go. There they go. I'm gonna keep the flashlight down. You guys see him driving? Find you. Day, night, rain, snow, shine, hot, cold, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not even gonna call him a sergeant. Fucking Gilman with the Sand Creek Division, badge number 5099. Eric Price, the list goes on. What's up, Bravo? Good to see you, man. Look at him driving without his fucking headlights. Driving without his fucking headlights. Here comes the other one. My tires are popped. I'll show you guys something real quick. Look at this shit. Get down, look at this. Look at him just sitting there. Blacked out. Go patrol! Fuck, buddy. She's over here somewhere. That's the... Look, this is intimidation right here. That's all it is. That's fucking intimidation. That's all it is. Fuck with me. Female. Look at this ugly face. Look at this ugly face. Like, and the cop had his gun out. Gilman, Sergeant Gilman, 5099 is his badge number. All happened. House Bill 217 that was passed in Colorado. Yep. House Bill 217. All happened. Badge number 5099 with the Sand Creek Division. This bitch was there. Let it all happen. All happen. In violation of Bill 217. Failure to intervene when a cop is doing wrong. House Bill 217 that was passed in Colorado. Yep. And one cop has already been arrested for failure to intervene in Aurora. Yep. Yep.
Need to make that everywhere.
This is what they do, guys. This is what Sand Creek does. This is what Sand Creek does. Look at him. He's still driving around. Little bitch boy still driving around. Completely blacked out.
Well, I mean, it's not a road, so she can do that.
Good job. Good job. Can't stand that fucking cunt. Excuse my language, but that pisses me off. Pisses me off when they neglect to do their job, which we pay for as taxpayers.
You're live streaming right now. What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number? You just came out and contacted me, asked me what am I doing. What's your name and badge number, bro? What's your name and badge number, please?
What's your name and badge number, ma'am? The policy is identified upon citizen's request. What's your name and badge number?
Why are you writing on her?
Offenders identified. Strider. What's your name and badge number?
You're going to answer any of our questions?
What's your name and badge
What's
number?
your name, sir?
Are you going to answer any of
What
our
is your
questions?
name and badge
Were you
number?
writing on her cars as well?
My badge number is 820. Would you like to
Thank you. You're
respectful
fucking
and have any of
dismissed,
our
man.
questions?
You're fucking dismissed.
You
Don't
can
touch our
please
car.
get that out of my
What are you
face.
going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Huh? I'm allowed to touch your vehicle. Make a stupid mistake. I'm allowed to touch this car because you know what? My tax dollars pay for this beautiful car.
Where do you work?
At your mama's house.
All right.
I'm just curious what days you have off.
Yeah, what days are you off?
Wow, they changed all Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh,
Tuesday,
good.
Wednesday, Thursday. Perfect. There's a gym I go to, sign a contract.
Y'all go to the bars on
There's
the
a gym I
powers?
go to, you can sign a contract.
Why would I go to a gym?
Come on.
Come and go?
Oh, come and go.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
saw
that's
that
funny.
last night? You almost got to Thursday?
Yeah.
You go to Gold's Gym? You have fucking shrimp dick energy. You know that? You probably give your wife dry vag syndrome, honey. Dead ass. Dead ass.
What gym you go to, man?
I go to Vasa.
Okay. You want to
Yep.
link up there?
Let's go.
All right.
Meet me there Wednesday, bro. Noon. Noon. I'm just curious.
It was me that had to try to perform CPR.
A man's family says he was kidnapped and murdered, and the cops took an hour to respond. His wife said he sent her a photo saying, "Call 911."
I gave them the exact address because he was able to provide me the location. I gave them the description of the man because I can clearly see it in the picture.
She says she and her uncle drove 45 minutes to find her husband dead in his car with another man whose death is being investigated as a suicide. The family thinks he was giving a ride to a homeless man when he was shot.
No one should call law enforcement a hostage situation and it take over a damn hour to respond.
Cops would not address the allegations. They say the matter is under investigation.
It was me.
Wow.
Walk of shame, baby. The walk of shame. Are you a terrorist? I think we got a terrorist, guys. I think we have a terrorist. Can't make this shit up, guys. Can't make this shit up. There's a pig on his computer. A pig for a pig. Yeah, come look. Look, there's a pig in the computer.
Police are stupid.
What was that?
If this is my personal vehicle, so we could not come, that would be appreciated.
Okay.
You parked it and then just, please don't film.
I'm just pulling up to see what you guys are doing.
Just saying hello to you.
Okay. Why?
Because we can't do with you.
What's your damn team property?
Really? You're gonna think that I come out here in broad daylight?
Well, I mean, when you come down around our patrol vehicles.
Are you that paranoid? Police are stupid.
What was that?
Wow.
What's your YouTube channel, man?
Oh, that's questions.
Oh, is it one of those channels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 21. What is that? Like. What's your YouTube channel, man?
Oh, that's questions.
Oh, is it one of those channels?
Yeah, it's one of them.
I know.
I gotta like that shit. Ah.
I know sometimes you wanna let go. Hey, 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 I know sometimes
Here it comes.
let go. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
We need to come in, John. We don't have an appointment. We don't need one. It's a fire code violation for you to be locking these doors. It's a fire code violation for you to lock these doors. It's a fire code violation for you to lock this. Oh, smashing my foot. Get your foot out of the way. Dude, what the heck? Hey,
Oh!
my foot, bitch. Fuck you.
Fucking punk.
Whoa!
Yeah. I know sometimes.
Damn. Is that all his shorts?
Flashlight, stupid. Make a mistake. Because I'm trying to see who you are. And I'm allowed to. What law am I violating? You got a camera fucking gun on me? I'm allowed to fucking have this on you. What law am I violating, asshole? And you're live right now. You're live. Put your gun away, stupid. Make a fucking mistake. I'll own you, Sergeant.
2052.
Sir? Don't sir me. What law am I violating by putting it in your fucking eye?
You are under arrest.
No, I'm not. I'm not violating the law.
What's going on?
I was shining the light to see who he was when he went by, and he wants to pull his fucking gun. Look, his gun is out. He pulled his gun on me for shining the light to see who the fuck he was,
Sir.
which I'm allowed to do by law.
You may not blind drivers while
I didn't blind you. I was looking at your vehicle when you went by.
shining that in my
And what law? What law am I breaking? Tell me what law. Fucking flashlight, stupid. Make a mistake. Because I'm trying to see who you are. And I'm allowed to. What law am I violating? You got a camera fucking gun on me? I'm allowed to fucking have this on you. What law am I violating, asshole? And you're live right now. You're live. Put your gun away, stupid. Make a fucking mistake. I'll own you, Sergeant.
2052.
Sir?
Don't sir me. What law am I violating by putting it in your fucking eye?
You are under arrest.
No, I'm not. I'm not violating the law.
What's going on?
I was shining the light to see who he was when he went by, and he wants to pull his fucking gun. Look, his gun is out. He pulled his gun on me for shining the light to see who the fuck he was,
Sir.
which I'm allowed to do by law.
Yeah. Well, make sure to check out Police 719. Let's see. Check this one out. Checking out your channel, bud, in case you happen to see this. There might be other channels that unfortunately try to fucking get your attention negatively about me.
Stand on the public sidewalk and record.
Hey, can you bring your fucking phone down, you fucking loser? Hold on one sec. Hey, you mind putting your fucking phone down?
I'm recording the cop, man.
Why? Why are you recording the cop?
Just make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, can you put the fucking phone
Holy shit. I ain't never seen this.
down? Fucking donkey.
What's he, an undercover?
But let's see. Same situation.
We got a bootlicker.
Might be his girlfriend or something.
We got another cop on scene. 7.
Huh.
Shout out to that dude who told me to put my phone down. Not only is he a bootlicker, now he is YouTube famous. Oh boy. Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Make sure you check out Police
Are there
Blitz. I'm gonna check out another video though.
3 things you should never do when someone breaks into your home. In this video, we're going to break down 3 topics that someone suggested you should never do when someone breaks into your home. We'll be talking with noted criminal defense attorney and former state prosecutor Tom Grieve. But hey, first, let me let you know that we have a gun giveaway going on, and it ends really soon. All you got to do is go down in the description, click that link, and we'll let you know which brand new gun you could have a chance to win. Tom, okay, so we've got some suggestions, and again, we get reader viewer input on things like this. 3 things you should never do if someone breaks into your home. And the 3 that we got on this list were: you should never leave your safe room, you should never let the bad guy know where you are, and you should never speak to the police without first consulting with your attorney. I really like the last one, and I'm probably sure that you agree with that one. First talk
For the
to your
most
attorney.
part.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah, there are some areas to help, but in a home defense scenario, we're getting this suggestion that you should never leave your safe room. First of all, I really don't like those absolute terms, never and always, and things like that. There's somebody's going to be watching right now and say, well, what if your safe room's on fire? Oh, okay, then we might want to leave.
They're never right and they're always wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why we have you.
That's
around,
that's
Tom.
why I'm here. I'm the color
So,
guy.
Yeah. So never leave your safe room. That's an area where I'm going to take a little bit of umbrage with that right from the beginning, because every situation is different. It's dynamic. What are you protecting if someone breaks into your home? Is it a burglary while you're asleep? Is it a home invasion while you're awake? Where are your kids? Are you going to protect your pets? I mean, there's all sorts of crazy ideas going on here. So what do you think about that concept of never leaving your safe room?
Well, I think it depends where it falls into your plan. I mean, for myself, as a dad.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Never leave your safe room. So if you don't have like an actual safe room, like from the movie Panic Room, whatever, I guess I mean like wherever the room that you feel comfortable, your bedroom or your study, your man cave. People have bigger homes, whatever. So
With young children, I can't imagine just locking the door to my bedroom and saying, well, you guys are on your own. That doesn't even compute to me. That being said, if I live alone and if my bedroom's a good place to be, and it's protected, and to the point where if there's a fire, I can reasonably escape from the window, and now you're starting to talk some sense to me. But it really depends. What's the cover? What's the concealment? Do I have a good vantage point if I'm right-handed? Am I looking around a left-hand turn?
It's exactly what I'm thinking about as we go through this, because and I'm talking about, first of all, I don't have a house with a safe room. I have a house with a safe space where I want to go and defend if somebody breaks in. Coming up to the top of my stairs, my bedroom where I am gives me only a left-handed shot around the corner and down the stairs. So I need to get out of that room, move across that hallway so that I can be leaning out, shooting with my right hand. So I'm going to have to leave my safe room to get across into my position for my self-defense. And I think this is something that, again, like you said, never right, always wrong kind of thing, that it comes down to your personal protection plan. What do you have in your home that you can use to best protect yourself? And in those cases, I really don't want to get into an always and never point of view. So,
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think to the way I think about it, there's a hierarchy of values in everything in life, but here's no exception. There's a hierarchy of values of, I want to protect, my children.
there's always a hierarchy of values. People need to think about that more. I need to think about it more. Everyone needs to think about how values interplay and everything.
Life, my spouse's life, my life. After that, there's a significant drop off.
And they'll say, "Oh, that's what he's not empathetic." No, I'm talking about just in general. I don't mean with people you love. Like, I remember always getting flack for that saying that all loves are based on conditions, but you can think however you want to. I mean, that's a delicate part whenever you're talking about preconceived core beliefs and all that shit.
And maybe people will slide a pet in there at some point. Maybe not. Some people may
You're
try
gonna
to.
get calls.
I'm gonna get
from
calls
from
yeah.
the dog lovers.
I didn't say don't. I said
Yeah.
some people
Okay.
may do this and some people may not. That's on them, not on me. So, and maybe for those dog lovers, I was talking
Brownie, don't worry, I'll let you inside.
about cats.
Okay.
So, that's
I'll accept it.
all right. I left that. All right. The flag's been picked up, folks.
Yeah.
The flag's been picked up.
Oh gosh.
But and some people may try to slide property into that. I wouldn't. I'm not going to throw my life away or to risk throwing my life away to protect, a computer or a big screen TV. I mean, I'm not saying it's fair or just or that I'm going to feel great about listening to somebody ransacking my house. I'm sure that we would all have a natural impulse to intervene, but there has to be a construction of that hierarchy of values, and higher up from all of that is protecting my family and lives, not stuff. So to the extent that a personal protection plan fulfills and protects those values and upholds those values, okay. If that means that I stay in one spot, so be it. I'm not convinced that every single contingency leads to me staying in one spot, however.
And
No. Well, you don't know what's your plan. You make plans for worst case scenario, so that at best they're outlines. You can't follow them to the letter always because you don't know what's the playing field is.
And you said something that leads us right into the next part of this question is you're sitting there listening to someone ransack your house. The other absolute in this statement, this viewer comment was never let the bad guy know where you are. And I'm going to say right now, I absolutely disagree with that. I want the bad guy to know that I know he is there. It's always a he. It's very rarely the female burglar or home invader coming in. I want that bad guy to know that I know he is in there. And I want him to know where I am so that he can stay away from me. Because if he chooses to come toward me, well, he's getting the gun bullets first. But if he chooses to stay away from me, yeah, it sucks. He's ransacking my house. He's taking my TV and my real good bottles of whiskey. He'll probably leave the cheap.
That's a good point to make because some places and states, unless they're coming at you, you can't go outlaw, bad at whatever you want to call it, or you can't even just go calling it defending yourself because if they're just in there going at stuff and you try to confront them and they run off and you shoot them in the back or something, then you're in some shit.
Stuff. But that's to be very serious about this in a home defense scenario. One, I tell people not to go room clearing from room to room. And two, I tell them not to do it in the dark and not to be sneaking around. We're not, snipers sneaking up on a high value target or something like that. What we're trying to do is get the bad guy to go away and not hurt us. And if at all possible, we don't have to hurt him because that doesn't, that just opens up a bigger can of worms. But, I'm going to shout out. I'm going to say, hey, I know you're here. Get out of the house. I've called the police. Don't come any closer. Whatever it is I can do, he's going to know where I am. And I want him to know that so that he doesn't come near me and I don't have to shoot him.
I think some people, yes, for starters. I think that some people misconceptualize what winning is. Winning to me is not blowing away the bad guy.
No.
It may come to that, but it isn't. Or at least at a minimum, it doesn't start there. It's forced there.
Yeah.
Winning is escaping the situation with the least harm necessary to myself or frankly anyone else. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to advocate pacifism or something like that. But I've seen what using a firearm in self-defense can do to the good guy's life, to their reputation, to their business, to their family, to their future. I think people, for understandable reasons, you read books, you watch movies, TV shows, and you watch the good guy, the righteous, defend themselves and defend their family and their homestead from the bad guy attacker. And if it isn't glamorized, it's certainly upheld as being virtuous. And I'm not trying to say that it isn't virtuous, but what those TV shows typically don't show you are the years of gritty, greasy court battles and fights, and the sleepless nights and the stress and the eating disorder that, you know, your kid develops because of everything. And just, they don't show you that side of it. And I'm not trying to say that every single time turns into that, but that is the roll of the dice. So when
I think that's a good point to end it. Y'all make sure to always check out USCCA, like, subscribe to their channel. Tom Grieve. 3 things you should never do when someone breaks into your home. People are gonna be like, why aren't you watching the whole thing anymore? Well, I'm just not watching the whole thing because I don't know. I may end up just stop doing reaction stuff at all, or do anything. I don't know. Uh-oh, Biden did an executive order. I didn't see this.
this could be it. This could be the Super Bowl of moving the goalposts and making felons. This could be pistol braces, bump stocks, and ghost guns all rolled into one. What am I talking about? We're talking about President Biden asking Attorney General Merrick Garland to clarify a statutory definition about something that you and I have probably done and will probably do, but it may be a felony next time. Before I get into it, really quick, don't forget, there's a secret giveaway going on right now. You can check out the information in the description box below. It's absolutely free, but it ends really soon. So check it out in the description box below. It might be for something that, I don't know, is in the shape of something that fits in a holster, something like that. Guys, this is super important. Let's get into this. So President Biden cannot get his gun control agenda passed due to Republican control in Congress, at least not right now. So in the finest of recent presidential traditions, it's time to start gaming the system. And to be clear, this is not a Democrat versus Republican thing. President Trump did this with bump stocks, and now Biden has done it with the privately manufactured firearms, aka ghost guns, as well as pistol braces. And here we go again. So the gun control advocates want universal background check. They've always wanted universal background check, and historically, we would probably know why if history is any teacher. Namely, universal background checks lead to registration, registration leads to confiscation, and just down that rabbit hole we go. But let's set that aside for a moment. Right now, the president
and people look over that, just don't think about it.
Gun controllers know that they cannot get universal background checks.
People even try to lie, and they'll say, "Oh, well, this like even with the harassing and lying and stuff. Oh, it was never registered, or it was registered that there's no registration. Like, what do you live in? You live in communist China? Like, and I thought these people, like, then again, I don't understand why Trump did that with the bump stocks or whatever. The ghost guns kind of did open a whole new Pandora's box, and you know, I don't have a 3D printer, so I don't know anyone that does, and that's just, of course, but I think they even started coming out to where they sold them already printed, and all you had to do, and the loophole was, if you bought just the kit as it was, then it's legal. It becomes illegal when you take it and follow the fucking instructions in the damn thing, or the YouTube video it links it to, and put the damn thing together. Now I think they've done it. He said they're banned, but unless they're manufactured with a serial number, like those kits.
So what are they going to do? They're going to be pivoting and they're going to be playing fast and loose, is my prediction, with some definitions. And this way, they don't have to go through Congress, or so they would claim in court. They will claim in court, because after all, they're simply reinterpreting some of what's already out there. Again, much like what the ATF has already done with privately manufactured firearms, pistol braces.
But I guess people will still try to argue and say, well, if you had a check done on you, then well, technically it kind of is registered because it was in a database that you inquired to try to get. Well, okay, yeah, that's a point, but then again, that's not registry, and I don't know what the, I have to look more into that personally. I don't know about that.
And bump stocks. As long as we're trying to do this
shit. Whoopsie.
To protect the public and for the greater good. If some Americans wind up going to prison, so much the better, right? So let's just kind of start off.
Damn. Hey, just
right here. What is the current statute and what's the current situation? Due to the Gun Control Act in 1968, you are required to be licensed if you are in the business of selling firearms. If you are a licensed firearms dealer, then you are required to conduct background checks when selling or transferring a firearm.
Yeah, when only doing those things. I think we know of somebody who uses their background checking access for more than that.
So the strategy will be, I predict, to expand the definition of
and doesn't even tell the truth.
Who is in the business of selling firearms. 18 USC 922 sub A sub 21 sub C. That's a mouthful.
Well,
Say it five.
You couldn't confirm nor deny. Well,
that's fast. As applied to
that, now I'm thinking, I think that was just all a big blah for, well, I can't confirm nor deny that he's had, and he was just shooting off in the wind.
A dealer in firearms, as defined under different section, also found in the description box below, a person who devotes time, attention, and labor to dealing in firearms as a regular course of trade or business to predominantly earn a profit through the repetitive purchases and resale of firearms. But such a term shall not include a person who makes occasional sales, exchanges, or purchases of firearms for the enhancement of a personal collection, or for hobby, or who sells all or part of his personal collection of firearms. Unquote. Again, you can find that statute as well as the other one that I referenced in the description box below. So the Gun Control Act advocates will be looking to basically play up and expand how little time, how little attention, and how little labor you need in order to trigger the definition of being a firearm dealer. Because again, if you're a firearm dealer, then you have to be licensed. And if you're licensed, well, hey, now you're going to have to maintain what's called a bound book, which is basically a record of every firearm you've taken in and every firearm that you've sold and transferred out. So that's going to be the magic mark here. That also means you're going to fall under ATF regulation, maybe a topic for another video. So you're probably asking yourself a pretty sensible question. How do I not go to prison in 2023, 2024, and beyond? That seems fair. I actually wake up and ask myself that on a daily basis as a criminal defense attorney. It's a little less relevant for me, though, because I'm a reasonably boring guy, but just the same, in these changing times, it's something that I find myself as a firearm owner being forced to ask myself. So I want to give you a couple brief points.
Well, that's fucking little surprising.
In this video right here to describe what we're going to be talking about and what courts are going to be looking to determine whether or not you are in the business of selling firearms. Because courts have identified several factors relevant to determining on which side of that line your activities may fall. In other words, hobbyist, no license, or business, need a license. Whether you represent yourself as a dealer in firearms, whether you are repetitively buying and selling firearms, the circumstances under which you are selling firearms, and whether you're looking to make a profit. Now, I will add that the ATF has clarified that note that while the quantity and frequency of sales are relevant indicators, courts have upheld convictions for dealing without a license when as few as 2 firearms were sold, or when only 1 or 2 transactions took place when other factors were also present. Guys, if you want the longer version of whether or not you are a firearms dealer under this video, take a look at the longer version of this video on the Attorney Tom Grieve channel. We also have coming out on the Attorney Tom Grieve channel, link to that in the pinned comment in the field below, whether or not you are actually a firearms dealer. It's going to be coming up in its own video.
Bet you old workyverse motherfucker likes getting regularly butt fucked by the ATL. Oh shit! Anyone got scammed?
Yeah, it's shameful to admit this, but I actually fell for one of the oldest scams in the book live on stream a few days ago. Many of you know that one of my favorite streaming activities is doing a bad games night. It's where I dumpster dive through Steam's new releases to find super stinkers that nobody has ever heard of and nobody's ever played. It's a lot of fun to find enjoyably terrible games, and a lot of times I'm the first and only
Enjoyably terrible games.
person to ever beat the game, which means I also end up being a speedrun champion in the game. Now, while doing a bad game nights 2 days ago, I found a game called Greed of Man. Looking back on it all now, with hindsight being 2020, I recognize that the name Greed of Man was actually a subtle joke from the developer, laughing in the face of everyone who bought the game, spitting on them, literally giving them a wedgie. It's shocking how deep this rabbit hole went, and I certainly didn't expect it. So, Greed of Man looked like just a potentially fun, shitty game. It was a very low effort, asset flip, open world game.
Damn. Where you live in a town ran by real players.
VoIP.
Damn, just released too.
And it had overwhelmingly negative reviews, so it immediately caught my eye. It looked like it could be fun shitty, which I always enjoy.
See, in my day, or well, when I grew up back in my day, we didn't have all these different variable games. You had to get a console, and yeah, you didn't have all this. And computer games, man, that was a bitch. Well, my favorite game was Flight Simulator, and I remember that mug back in the day when hard drives wasn't as big as they are normally now, and actually they've gotten smaller, sort of. You had to have shit. You had to have it came with like 1 to 2 discs, and you had to install about almost damn near 20 gigs on the damn thing and use a disc. What's up, Bubba? But you want to say hi to the peoples? Say, yeah, fuck them haters. They don't know nothing about it. They don't know nothing about me. They want to talk about weird relationship and shit. They some sick motherfuckers. You the master. You daddy. I would never do nothing like I know, Bubba. I would never do anything like that either. And they know it too. They're just trying to get at us. Trying to get at me. Trying to make people laugh at me. You know something? I don't give a shit about it. They can say all that bullshit they want to. One day, I might, though, just have enough power to where I can summon somebody in court and they're going to hate, you know, or they're going to actually enjoy it, according to what this old fucking prostate cancer probably going to get sooner or later, having ass, bitch ass, filthy animal. Yeah. And he is an animal compared to you, Brownie. You know that? Brownie's a more sensitive, fucking intelligent being with a soul than that son of a bitch is. Do you agree, Brownie? He's looking off the side like you already know.
And it also happened to cost $30.
You already know.
The hubris to charge $30 for something that took less than 30 minutes to develop.
Well, that's $1 a minute.
I thought there was potential
Maybe
to
the salary of the future.
Have a very fun, shitty game here. So I forked over the clams. And luckily, I caught it at the right time. It was on sale, so it was only $20. What a massive saving. $20 for the worst experience I've ever had on Bad Games Night.
You see, I'll turn the camera on to show them how you doing your deep pressure therapy without any problems. Yeah. Doing a good job. Actually feels good. If you were now like a big cat from Joe Exotic or something sitting on my chest like this, man, be all probably about crushing. But 20 pounds, I guess when you're a little skinny guy like me, it ain't that much when it's pushing against the chest like that. Because he's got all his weight, and he's got his legs huddled up, and because of how small and lengthy he is, his front paws, he's right up at my shoulders, and then his back goes right down below, right about my stomach and hip area, like, you know. So it's all centered on my torso, basically.
The game's not a scam just because it's bad. I'm going to get into it in a moment. It's a legitimate, genuine scam by all
Good boy.
definitions. So anyway, Mr. Krabs charges $30 for this game. I've played it. I recognize the game is really bad, and I just wanted to see what the community was saying about it, because it wasn't just bad. It was empty. There was nothing to do. Nothing worked. It was not
Holy shit.
functional. So I went to
They
the
gonna
Steam
pay $20 or something that don't
game
work.
forums just to see what the hubbub was about. And it turns out this game was actually developed by a TikTok star. His name is Nick the User. And he is apparently notorious for making fake games and hosing his audience down for money, buying into the idea that he's a great game developer releasing hit products, fucking bangers. But he's apparently released a handful of games, none of which he ever actually completed, but made quite a bit of money off the back of his audience. And Greed of Man was his latest endeavor into this fucking slump that he's created. So
it's like a game that don't even work at all. Like it don't even come
Greed
on.
of Man was a game that never was supposed to even be completed in the first place. And he spent a couple months hyping up Greed of Man on TikTok, saying that he's releasing the next GTA 6 online, and it's going to be free to play. Greed of Man is going to be free to play. The game is free. And it turns out the game wasn't free. He dropped it for $30 fucking dollars. And actually, as of 5 hours ago, as of recording this, Nick said, "Listen, I heard all of your feedback. I'm lowering the price from $30 to $10. What a fucking angel." But anyway, so he lied about it being free, and he charged a lot for it. But the reason it's a scam isn't just because of the blatant false advertising or the stealing of other developers' assets against their will and getting blasted for it, getting called out publicly for the stolen assets. But actually there's something else here that is actually a fucking phishing scam, pretty much. I don't want to spoil the surprise, so let me just show you the stream clips from when I got scammed live. I'm going to check this one out. I want to see what kind of town they've got cooked up over there right now. So it's just Gmod RP. Doesn't really seem Gmod-esque. All right, let's see how greedy these men are. They got Daft Punk on the banner there. This is so tedious. All right, let's get it. Let me make sure this shit isn't like open mic or something. Is this a player? That's the item manager, the manager. How do I get this off my screen? I can see myself moving around here in the fog. All right, so there's apparently 8 players in this bitch. I want to go find them. Oh, there's one. Oh, he's gonna tase me. How do I put my hands up? Wonder what he's gonna do. Does he work here? How does he have a job here? It wouldn't let me. You have to be in uniform. Well, he didn't give me a fucking uniform. Where am I supposed to get it? Enjoy your dough, Erica. God, this place is popping off. This guy's come over here and then blue screened in his brain, I guess. Where are the other players at? God, I hope it's not.
This is horrible.
Not open mic. I'd be so embarrassed. Oh, I heard a shot.
Damn, domestic violence.
Did that come from outside, or did one of the remaining 7 players just kill himself in one of the hotel rooms here? I can't believe I spent $20 on this. I'm ending it. I've had enough. No, it's just not free. It's $20 and it was on sale. Oh my God, how big is this building? Jesus. Imagine getting this room here. They were really ambitious. They thought they'd have a huge player base. Man, imagine being the stupid asshole that buys this penthouse suite. There's no elevator or anything quick to get down, so here comes a 20-minute run downstairs. What are the reviews like on this game? Hold on. Is there something I'm missing? I know it has overwhelmingly negative reviews, but there's got to be something to it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck?
There's got to be something.
This is so fucking weird.
So everything is not recommended. I cannot recommend this game for two simple reasons. Why the fuck are we used to create an account by using login Steam on your website? It's true, I didn't even think about that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude's got my fucking Steam info now, I guess. This is just a disaster. You can't really do anything. This is just a scam game. I didn't play much, but can already see the game's bad. Don't support Nick. He's a scammer and not even a real game developer. He abandoned his only 2 other games and already gave up on this game before stating he's in way over his head. He heavily advertised this game as free just a few months ago and is now making $3K a month on Patreon for making literal garbage. Wait, how deep does this rabbit hole go?
I'd like to introduce you all to...
What the fuck? Did I just fall for a big scam? Well, I mean, the game sucks ass. Like, there's nothing to do here. It is a scam, but like, is it like a well-known scam? This TikTok star is scamming his audience with fake games. I fell for a scam. I'm not his audience, and I still got scammed.
To Nick, a self-proclaimed game developer
Son of a
who has amassed
bitch.
a following of almost 750,000 followers on TikTok, promoting his now released early access title called Greed of Man.
Damn, Charlie.
That's what I'm playing right now.
Developer, I don't say that lightly.
I can't believe it. Man, Bad Game Night got me
TikTok
scammed.
Space on September 14th.
Yeah,
2021.
I have
He was
to
adding a
change
card
my
to
shit
this
here.
game called Tomorrow's Past.
Existed GTA Online. And this became a huge issue as of a couple weeks ago when I realized that my workflow was not going to finish this game in time. This game would take
In time for what, man? Like, what? You don't work for a publisher. You're your own boss. In time for what? What are you talking about, brother? God, I got scammed by a 16-year-old surfer frat douchebag. That was $20 right down the shitter, too. Yeah, I'm just going to refund it. But he still gets the $20, unfortunately. Man. And it looks so good, too. To think, if only a developer who cared had their hands on this, they could make Catnap Homes a real success. I'll take one more last look around this beautiful world before saying my goodbyes to it. Damn you, Nick! Damn you! Oh my god, another victim of the scam. It's supposed to be like an RP style game, but there's no settings for like voice, so I'm guessing that's not actually here. And there's also only one audio setting, which is voice, but with no way of getting voice.
Wow.
If he could hear me, he would have stopped for sure on the Robux. Let's see what he does. There's 2 of you? No, these have to be bots. No way. Hold on, what's this TikTok doing right now? Because this is brand spanking new scam here. This is fresh. Hold on. I think what's happened. World, come in, come on. And what happens is when you try and play the game, you have to sign up on his website, which I did, and you have to link your Steam, which I did, like an absolute buffoon. So I think what he does then is he maybe sells your information somewhere. I don't think he uses it. Like, I don't think he actually logs into accounts to steal things. I think he's just more of a data harvester type. That's my guess.
Probably right.
Big Fry just reviewed the world to be developing. So the fact that this adult that does YouTube video reviews on scam games is going to take my small project
I think I'll check out the Gotcha since the Gotcha Man stream. And like, I don't hate or not like I'm not subscribed to him on this account. I'll go ahead and subscribe to him because I've liked some of the stuff he's done. But I'm just gonna say, oh shit, we got a couple new videos.
Got a good one for you tonight, y'all. Everybody's going.
Hold on, let me let Brownie out. Brownie, you ready to go outside? You go outside, Bubba? You go outside. So, yeah, I've been wanting to go outside. You've been making me wait. Grandpa's still sleeping, so let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. Come on. Ready, sit. Red light. Hey, red light. Green light. Good boy. Make it shake. Bad habit. I tell you. Life can be a struggle of bad. That's because you're a yeah, because when you're the jump box hero. That's what they're gonna be calling me, the jump box hero. That's why I played that jukebox hero. Make fun of that. You can call me a junk box all you want. Remember the other day? Time for me to drop a little bomb shell. Remember the other day, trolls and haters, when I said that, you know, I announced my already had started taper, and they were just eating it all up. Do you remember the exact number I told you I had? I said I'd picked up 60, right? My last 60. And what did I say I was down to already? 50? That's what I'm down to today. So yeah, I'm getting close. I tore off. I'd gotten down to 1.5, and I've torn off now about, I'd say about 30% more off of that others, you know. And because I've already tried, I tried to go without taking the other half, and I immediately noticed, are pretty early, like earlier in the morning time, that my head would start, I'd start to feel like a headache coming on, or like a tightness in my head. And so I took that, and it immediately lit up. So what I've done is today I tore off just a little bit more of it. And so, yeah, I will succeed. And even if I have to eventually deal with the fucking receptors going out of whack or whatever, I will. You punks won't know about it.
Gonna tune in. I ain't worried about the numbers, but you watch and see. There'll be 1,000 people in here.
I've already went over how there's a new treatment that puts is more humane, you know, and easier on the body and mind and everything. If you could go down to that place in Florida that I've done videos on before, advanced neural regulation. But if you can't, then yeah, you're stuck with the either cold turkey or tapering thing. But I'm not trusting a place to do it or have that ability unless I want to do some other things that I don't want to do and don't need to do. And I obviously can't just just wake up and be, so I'm having to do it gradually. No problem with that.
All at one time. You just
And I need to rephrase it. I'm not having to do it. Listen to some of their shit. Sometimes it actually gets me saying some shit they'll say. I'm wanting to do it because I don't want to have to keep shuffling around as a result of shit they've done. And who knows? I might end up learning I don't have to, or that I switch to something else that's better. Point is, though, this is all they're going to hear about, and that's it.
watch and see. Ow, Dad. But she, I got
That, come on, man.
herself coming up right now. She's gonna.
Man, that was seriously, like, God, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed at that. Because all y'all are expecting that you don't even know. That's what pisses me off so much about these people. They just assume that they know. And I don't even like taking up for him. Dagrun.
Gonna be right up here. We're gonna do an interview.
Not after the way he's done me for no reason. After I apologize and everything else.
Exclusive right here. Dad Burns out of Goblin. That's right. Here she coming on right now. Gearing. Hey Johnny. Hey Patty. You're exactly right.
Well,
I said you're exactly right.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's right. And
no,
we're not gonna talk about.
No,
Ryan,
we're not
right?
going to talk about him at all.
Exactly.
That's not what
Nope.
this is about, y'all. We're not going to talk
Not
about
at all.
my son, okay?
You're exactly right. I
But
love you, Patty.
He's got a great heart, and I know my son
He
has
does.
a great heart, and oh my God, he can do so many impressions. He sounds just
So
like
many.
Elvis.
Just like
and I
a
told him that. I'm his mother. I told him everything.
I bet you did. You're exactly right.
course.
I love you, Patty.
And no,
Oh my God. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is a little too much, but so far, I mean, damn.
whatever's going to happen's going to happen.
But you got
no,
this
I've
case.
got evidence to prove
And
all
all
this.
the
I've got
evidence.
plenty of it. I've got binders full.
Every bit of it.
But again, whatever the outcome, it's going to be already what it's going to be, and I'm ready to start over.
Yeah, you could do it, Patty. But you got this case, Patty.
Yeah,
you don't
I've
even
got
need
this
to.
case. I know, Johnny.
Exactly.
I know, and you're so sweet. You and Melinda are like the best people ever. You guys are
In the world.
so perfect.
You're exactly right, Patty. You're exactly right. And I love
He did say that a lot.
your hair. Your hair is so beautiful, Patty.
Oh,
I love it.
Thanks, Johnny. But this is actually a dress. It's
no
not my
problem.
hair. I shaved my head. Yep. You couldn't tell this is a dress,
Sometimes
but
you
you're a
have to.
fucking idiot.
You're
It's so
exactly
silly,
right,
isn't
Patty.
it?
You're
No, she did not.
Let's get on with it, Patty. Let's tell them what they need to know.
He's got a StreamYard overlay. It's not even working.
You've learned so much in this
Yeah,
music
no, I'm
industry.
doing
that-
so good, and I've learned
So
Johnny, that's a hint to, like, give the paid version of StreamYard.
So good.
much over the last week. I'm basically
Yes, you have,
a producer
Patty.
myself. I have learned so much,
But
Johnny.
pretty much.
and
Pretty much
I
all.
know everything there is to know about recording.
Actually, I think you could take that off even with the free version. You just can't take off the top right one.
And that's my gift to you, Johnny. This is my gift to you.
Oh my
I
God.
am going to make you famous. I am going to make a song for you. I know everything there is to know about
She
recording.
can pull this off because she knows absolutely everything. Being around Ryan, all that
Yes,
time around Ryan.
everything.
Exactly.
I'm echoing, aren't I? Am I?
Sort
Is
of.
it better now?
Hell no.
No, it's terrible.
I don't.
we
I don't,
got this, Patty.
I don't know what I'm doing, Johnny. Is it still echoing?
Yeah.
Should I just get off here?
You're exactly right.
I don't
Patty.
know what's going on.
You're
But
exactly
Johnny,
right.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna. But Johnny, I'm gonna make you famous.
And I believe
And how you do that? Here's all you need. All you need.
I'm convinced. I am convinced, man. That's one thing that just got said. Like, is that really what you're after, man, from all this? Is just to get, like, famous? It's a serious question.
He is
Listen up, y'all.
100 followers, Johnny. That's it.
I mean, I'm not. I just came on here to do YouTube. Like, grew a little bit okay. I didn't ever or expect ever to grow as big as someone like Charlie or something.
100 people.
100, just 100.
And well, Bell, I thank you so much, Johnny. Bell is usually set around 10 grand. So 100 people, $100.
It was talked about and thrown around that because, like, I'd reach out to Roma and the way things had played out, like, I got told two different things. Like, they expected me to, blame her more so, not help, and, like, kind of stay going at her, and I didn't. And then I'd heard that that's kind of like the whole idea, like, they're trying to get people to think I want all the possible YouTube attention everywhere.
Take care of
I can't do mathematics, but you're exactly right.
You guys will
Patty.
bail me out if something happens in court, right?
Absolutely. Me and Melinda will.
Stop, Johnny. You guys are so sweet.
I know.
I bet you could come up with 10 grand, Johnny, just by yourself. You're
Just
so
like
talented.
that.
These
No, you
people don't
couldn't.
know. Here's what they don't
Hell.
understand. When the cameras are off, Johnny's golfing with the mayor.
Every day. Every day. That's
Could
exactly
be.
what
You guys don't know.
they
guys
don't,
don't know
Patty.
nothing.
You're exactly.
Please pray for me. I have surgery tomorrow. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm starting later on. I gotta get on later this morning. And I'm just gonna, like, knock it off. I won't be back on later this afternoon like yesterday. And then I've got tomorrow off that I gotta go northwest about almost about a little bit over an hour drive. Be put to sleep, and I hope that I won't have a whole lot of discomfort from it added from what I already have, because I've got it in two places, and it, part of me wants to go and get all this shit done, but I thought I was gonna do something else first. And I just don't know. I need some prayers about some personal stuff, because I don't know what I need to funnel my value into at the most. I'm gonna have to do it with this health issue, because I don't have any choice. I can't. It's getting to the point where I can't. I had this tooth that broke off, and that's the thing. I used to overbrush. I brushed and I would bleed when I brushed. And you go through all this shit. You go through an orthodontist and all this. And yeah, I know it's on me for smoking and stuff like that. But, like, even then, I still tried to take care of and everything. And then and having that wreck, and after that, it's just like after that, everything just like got turned on, then speed up, and things started decaying quicker and stuff. And now I got half of a fucking bone thing stuck in my jaw that's pushing against my damn gum constantly and has it so tender that I can't eat on that side of my mouth. I've already fought off the infection, so I shouldn't have an infection anymore, but the damn thing still hurts as a mass. And yeah, I'll get it taken out. And then what? Like, you know, because the way it is, my bottom is fine, but it's my top that's not. What am I gonna do? Get half of a denture and leave the bottoms alone? Like, but then I'm thinking about, but I gotta seriously go through getting all of the bottom taken off once I get the top fixed, and go through, like, you know, it's just a lot to fucking. That's probably my biggest obstacle with things is deciding on which way to go. I'm sorry, I got way off topic of this video. This video is making fun of that interview, which I think I may have to check out almost after this just to see. Because he did say that a lot, didn't he?
Exactly right. They don't know nothing about me. Except for I was a crackhead one time. That's all they know. But I ain't said nothing else. I basically kept my mouth shut this entire time and haven't showed them none of my life. They don't know where I live, nothing. And look, Dumb Genius is in the chat saying he loves you too, Patty.
Oh, Dumb
You're exactly
Genius,
right,
I
Dumb
see you in the
Genius.
chat too. I
Yeah,
love you so
yeah.
much, Dumb Genius.
She does, Dumb Genius.
I know you race baited my son, but I
Little
tell
bit.
you how much I love you, Dumb Genius. Is I go in your lives under alt accounts. Though it's such a cute little fun word I learned.
It is fun. You're exactly right.
I just don't want to make you nervous. Isn't it
That's all.
Isn't it just silly that a woman my age has alt accounts? It's
a little bit.
Everything's so silly. Johnny, I am going to make you famous. You would not believe what
I
I've
know
learned
y'all.
over all these years in music and recording.
Everything. Listen up, chat. Listen to it right
I
now.
know how to record music. Please
Yes, she does.
don't lock me up in court. I'll lose it.
Yes, she
Johnny,
will.
we're
Please
gonna
don't,
do so
y'all.
good
Please
together.
don't. We are. You're exactly right, Miss Pat. You're exactly right.
Johnny, we're gonna do
Oh, I
so
love
good
you so
together.
much.
We're gonna do so much good. It's
So-
gonna be so fun.
So good.
We're gonna have a
To the whole
platinum
world.
hit. It's gonna be
Platinum.
great. And I don't want a penny from you, Johnny. This is my gift to you. Like
I
said
wouldn't probably
earlier,
give you a penny
I
anyway,
don't
but I
want any
appreciate
of
that, Patty.
My track record speaks for itself. I don't want nothing.
It
in
does,
return for
y'all.
Helping you out. It's called pro bono. Pro bono.
I don't know. See, I'm so conflicted because I know Dag Burns been attacked. People probably looking at me bad because I'm watching or giving views to any of this. I mean, that's just an interpretation of it. And yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's meant to, it's just sad, man, that this is fucking what you, I mean, this is the shit we got going on.
I should probably turn off this music. The announcement, and I hate to say it, but here's the thing. I need to think about my mental health. And I think that's what you guys don't realize.
Well, the beachside's over there, so I guess shit. With as close as beachside is with Anonymous and Johnny, they can't give me shit for being over here watching.
Here's the problem, and here's the reason I'm
Wow.
quitting YouTube. Is there's so many people out there. There's so much hate, y'all.
It is a lot when small. I mean, it is a little, and taking it offline and stuff, if it was just making stupid videos and memes, I would have been done and been over that shit. I know I'm speaking for me when he's talking about somebody else, but still.
Guys out there calling people fat, calling them assville. There's people out there wishing death on cancer patients.
And I get what they're doing. They're pointing out the criticism. But I think, like, Johnny's pointed that out himself. He's taken, like, there was this kick about people not taking accountability and all that. Okay, so everyone started taking accountability and admitting, people didn't do that much. Then they start doing it, and now, well, they don't give a shit if you took accountability of it. They're still gonna fucking harp on it and bring it up.
Just so much hate, y'all, and my mental health can't take it. So
Shit, you should see mine.
that's the announcement. I've got to quit. I'm getting off YouTube.
There is so much hate, Mr. Fusion.
What time is it now? 7:40.
I wish you'd be a part. You are a part of it, but I wish you'd be more on the receiving end of it. You might fucking understand sometime, you fucking piece of shit.
6. I'm gonna stay off YouTube at least till 10 to 8, at least, because my mental health can't handle it. I don't know how some of y'all do it, but I can't do it.
I don't have to unsubscribe. Don't take it wrong, gotcha, man, but I can't, man. Fuck it. If I do it on live, they'll take it they'll try to use it and get him to go at me. Yeah, you don't do it.
Let me make sure I turn
Say
it.
fucking I plan to do it or some shit, trying to get his attention.
Yep, I'm getting a job, walking tall. Monday morning, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna start working, and I've got some people. Y'all understand? We're winning, and y'all motherfuckers hate it. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna start making money. But also, there's nothing wrong with being a housewife, even if you're a man. Patty said it herself, and anything Patty says is gold. If Patty says it, it's gold. Right? So, I can be a housewife. Why not? All you gotta do is, you gotta do dishes and stuff. I can't do nothing. I'm dagburn lazy. So, but yeah, I'm quitting YouTube, y'all. My mental health is more important. People want to make fun of stuff that shouldn't be made fun of. And honestly, it shouldn't be put out there. Some of this stuff, y'all, my dad putting his finger in my butt should never be on YouTube, y'all. And Ewans are the ones that put it out there. Ewans are the ones that made it out, to be public and all that. I didn't do that. I simply picked my dad up and said, remember doing that? And he said, no. And he never got locked up for it. I know it seems kind of strange, but nothing. It doesn't have to make sense. Dagburn it. Ow, ow, ow. Who's that muffled squirrel? Ow, ow. Y'all are fucked up. I mean, I am walking tall. You could sell paintings at the pencil. Well, Chevy triple nickel. Damn, there we go. There pops a little more credit, man. Gold and all that. Yeah, he did. And he was concerned too, Rowdy. He said, hey, Johnny, that tar ain't gonna make it. You guys didn't, like, if you slow it down and enhance the audio, his dad was like, Johnny, that back tar is just like your career online. It ain't gonna make it, Johnny. It ain't gonna make it a few more miles. It's gonna blow out. Y'all didn't get to see that, but it's on Horner's House channel. Just slow it down, you'll see it. Hold on, is Fusion in here? Funny, I'll have to put my thumb right over the camera. I don't go live, y'all. I don't do this.
Of course
often.
he's here.
Oh, Chevy, man. I love you, dude. Yeah, there's Fusion. What's up, buddy? And Cheeseburger, listen, I tried to back you up. Like, he... Save Merle. If anybody can pull off buying 12-inch cigarettes on EBT, it's Gobble. But yeah, y'all, I just can't take the hate no more. That's what y'all don't realize is, here's the thing, is y'all are so insensitive to somebody's mental health. And that's the thing, is, you know, y'all are saying that I'm a crook, and y'all are saying that that I'm just out to make money off everybody's misery and all that. And that ain't true. The real problem is people out there wishing death on people with cancer and stuff like that. And, you know, there's literally people out there that even after a man has gotten his life together and got a new girlfriend, new outlook on life, trying to move past his mother doing stuff to him, there's guys out there that every video they post, even with their new girlfriend, they'll go, look, she's a floozy, and they ain't gonna last. They're not gonna be together. And look at his pupils. Look, he's high again. Every video he's high again. There's guys out there like that, y'all.
Yeah, and they're all in your comments. Oh, what do you know? Andrea's in here because she's everywhere.
And my mental health can't handle it. So I gotta quit YouTube's. What time is it now? Is it 10 till?
I wonder if I'll see any of the workies attack her and be nice or talk to her or about her.
I'm quitting, at least till then. What time is it? It's already past 10 till. Wait, I'm going to quit again, y'all, because it's too much. It's too much. And Mom, ask Merle. Hey, Merle, ain't I said I was going to kill myself before? See? You didn't hear? Yes, Johnny. You said you'd kill yourself, and you said that those dick pills would work. Just one question at a time, Merle. Talk about oversharing. That's another reason I
That's so a year ago. Y'all still call her Merle. I mean,
YouTube, y'all. Is Cashville in here?
but if I talk about a woman's looks or something, misogyny, da da da.
Run this 87. Who's
You
that?
know, I wonder if Merle can give a good gummy. Rufus 87 says.
Dude. What's up, Run This? You gonna run this right over here? And
They're saying he's obsessed with Ryan while sitting in here with people obsessed with me.
Merle's my inspiration. She's your perspiration. Bitch is sweating all over everybody online. Oh. I don't want to see my
I think I
inspiration.
can finally. I want to take that stupid fucking mushroom off. That was dumb. I can call out, and I can recognize whenever I do something stupid. Oh man, it fucking hurts. Fucking leg. Feel like I'm 30 years old and I look fucking feel about damn near like I'm 50. It's not normal. Huh. My life really got fucked up. People like to laugh at it. That's what's fucked up. I even took down that little video, because I don't want to be like that. I mean, I could sit around here and just come up with all types of shit to make that, you know, they wouldn't find funny, but I'd find funny. But what's the point in doing that? Let's see. I don't want me to do it this way. Oh, man. Think of what I have to take. Well, I did wake up and I didn't take that other half of an Ativan last night, so that was a fucking victory. Now if I can just repeat the same thing today, that'll be down to 1. Not 1.5, but 1. And I may have to do the last one like in quarters. Should be fucking hard, but we got a cutter. Alright, let me change the name of this. Use different fucking emojis. Alright. I got it changed what I want to do. We'll keep listening to this.
Camera ain't waterproof, but listen, Mr. Fusion, I'm pretty sure he's back on already. Somebody was in my comments a minute ago. It was like, can we mourn the loss of Johnny Gobble's YouTube channel for the last 30 minutes? I'm pretty
See the
sure he went
Cardinal
right back
brand?
on right after that. What's up, buddy? Say hello. Oh, that worked out great.
Did I hear a kid? Harrison.
My fingers are wet.
Well, Brian, I guess it don't matter as long as they're not doing anything crazy, right?
It's a 12, y'all.
Glad I still got that. I haven't lost it. Oh, watch out, man.
Crimes of fashion. I don't go live. I
Crimes of
never do.
fashion.
And that's usually the reason is because, you know, dad mode kicks in. And I mean, I'll edit some stuff and put it together or whatever, but live is kind of hard for me. What's going on with fucking 1973? I guess I missed something. What's up, Boston Nick? SSI. Yeah, that's the only time. What are you hitting me for? Can you see yourself? See yourself. Read the chat, buddy. No. Not for real. Listen, I think that 1973 dude, from what I looks good. Thanks, Cashville. Hey, and Cashville, I'm sure you're a fellow pool owner. It ain't easy, is it? It is everyday work man, like if it rains, the pH gets fucked up, and you gotta add like this chemical, that chemical. You gotta clean this, clean that. It's a pain in the ass, man. Like this is the first time I've ever had a pool. But listen, and I thought about making a video about this soon. But this is a robot pool cleaner. It just kind of, I don't know, it has some sort of fucking AI. Robots are gonna kill all of us, but as long as they clean my pool for now. But yeah, man, and it's got this little basket in it that catches all the bullshit. Well, I guess the pool rings too. But anyway, this thing's been a blessing, man. It's a Seagull Pro from, I don't know how you say it, Aper. But yeah, if y'all got pools out there, man, that's the way to go. Right there. I've heard that.
I guess these are all the
there.
people
Hey,
that
what's
agree
going
with
on,
one
man? How
another.
come they said, hope you get well soon?
I know it doesn't mean that necessarily. Just interesting to see them all in here. That's why I'm only showing that.
Yeah. Maybe one of these days we'll go to saltwater. Is Triple T in here? Lady Tracy, what's up? That's funny how I go live and all of a sudden I see all the great people I remember. Triple T, you gotta go salt. Life would be so much easier. Well, listen. There you are, Triple T. Much love, man. Hope you're doing well. I haven't called. Robots kick me out. Listen, and I honestly think I'm gonna I want to make a video about it because I think it'd be funny. I think there's a lot of funny
Can't watch this shit no more.
about a robot cleaning your pool or whatever.
Shit, funky, fucking stink, asshole up your ass, up your cunt. Fuck you sideways, you fucking boring fucking whore. Fuck off, you cow.
Yeah.
Pegasus, I choose you. Okay, Glock 19C, Gen 6, voice activation. Here we go. Blue Pegasus, this chamber round. Nothing. Blue Pegasus, engage. Glock 19C from the future. Pegasus, I choose you. Okay, Glock 19C, Gen 6, voice activation. Here we go.
Never do that. Have it cocked back and then let it slide. And that's bad on it. That's bad on it. It's a nice one though. I like the color.
That Melly got into the red Mitsubishi to go home.
Yes.
Are you 100% sure that this young man learned of the shooting of his friends at the exact same time you learned of it?
Yes.
And that was at the house?
Yes.
Are you 100% sure that when people were getting on the phone, that this young man was looking for his phone to call people?
Yes.
May I have one moment, please?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Counsel, is there any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're ready to make proceed?
Thank you. Mr. Davis, you said you're 100% sure that Mr. Dennis found out at the same time you did.
Yes.
No questions about that. You're sure he was at that house,
Yes.
and you were upstairs.
Yes, ma'am.
He was downstairs,
Yes.
but you're sure he was there. You could see him.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you are 100% sure his phone was missing.
Yes.
Where in the statement on May 5th did you ever say that?
Objection. It was never asked.
Counsel, so I guess the objection is improper impeachment, so rephrase your question.
So you met with me on May 5th, 2022, you remember that?
Yes.
And you remember sitting down, you were present? That's a yes?
Yes.
Your two attorneys were present that you brought? That's a yes?
Yes.
And I asked you questions for quite a number of hours. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember being asked if you had met with anyone else with regards to this case?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember being asked if you had met prior to speaking with me with the attorney sitting over to my left?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know who they were, and my lawyers told you that.
Okay.
I didn't know their names.
But you remember meeting with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you remember asking and being asked a question about what you talked about with them?
Yes.
Did you remember what you told them?
No.
Do you remember what you told them now?
Yes.
So are you telling this jury that when you were speaking with me, you forgot?
As in, what I'm telling them now, as of right now, yes.
So on the phone on that, do you remember if Mr. Devins had any passcode on his cell phone that night?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? And in terms of, would you be surprised to find that there was one on that cell phone?
No.
Did you know passcode?
I don't think so. I don't even remember if he had one. We all use this phone sometimes. We all use each other's phones.
So you would use his cell phone? Why?
Talk to females.
You pretend to be him to get women? Because you couldn't get them on your own?
Objection.
Why would you use his cell phone?
Let me rule before you ask the next question, all right? It's overruled. Go ahead, answer your question. Go ahead, ask the next question.
So with regards to your living situation there,
Damn. She's like, you had to pretend to be him to get with
you
him?
were not paying any rent, right?
Oh, no.
And nobody was paying any rent in that house except for the defendant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So do you remember that evening driving to the studio?
Yes.
You remember who was in which car?
On the way there, yes.
You remember who was on each car on the way back?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any threats that were made to anyone that night?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone have any other conversations or discussions about threats from outside parties?
No, ma'am.
Was anyone worried about their safety?
No, man. But Melly's a rapper. He's always be a target.
I'm sorry.
I said he's a rapper, so he's always going to be a target.
Okay. And do you remember stopping on the side of the road?
Yes,
Where did you stop?
I don't remember. It's like flashes and blinks, drinking and smoking, so I just know we stopped.
You know you stopped.
Yeah,
And do you remember if that was on a highway?
not at all.
Okay, do you remember if it was on a divided 4-lane road?
No,
Do you remember if you guys were using GPS to get home?
no,
Okay, do you remember if you knew the route home?
no,
Do you remember what phone number you had back then?
no, man.
You don't remember your phone number?
5 years ago. So.
Do you remember if you were awake or asleep?
Just told you. We were asleep.
You were asleep. And you said you were intoxicated?
Yes.
Do you know why the car stopped?
No.
Do you have any conversations or messages with the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Did you have a phone call with him?
No, ma'am.
When you stopped, was the Great Jeep in front of Red Mitsubishi?
Yeah, I believe so.
Have you ever answered that question differently?
I don't think so.
If I were to show you your statement from May 5th, of 2022, would that help you in answering if you'd ever said something different than what you just testified in court?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, approaching with page 33 of the statement, counsel. You should silently to yourself.
Line.
Lines 18 through 20. Okay, so now we're answered, I don't remember if Jeep was in front or the Mitsubishi was in front.
If you watch the video, they put off first, so I like it was in front of us.
So you watched the video.
You showed it to me.
In terms of the trial, you've been watching that online?
No, ma'am.
In terms of when you got home, you mentioned that you said Mr. Demons went to his room.
Yes.
Have you ever answered that question differently?
No.
Okay. On May 5th, 2022, remember that statement?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, did you say, I don't know where he went, and I assume his room?
I don't know.
You don't? But you made your statement, and I'll refresh your recollection.
Yes.
Okay, page 34, lines 12 and 13, counsel.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you previously give a different statement that you didn't know where he went and you were assuming he went to his room?
Yeah.
So with regards to the car, you're saying that you got pushed over when somebody got in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. And with regards to being pushed over, did you wake up when that happened?
Like it was flashes. Like yeah, I guess you could say I woke up.
Okay. And did they move you over or climb over you?
I don't remember.
Have you ever made a statement that's different than that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay, again, page 33. Question was asked, did they climb over to get you to the middle, over you to get to the middle of the back seat? Your answer was, I think I was at the window, so no, I think they might have climbed over.
Okay.
So is it your testimony that somebody climbed over you or you pushed over?
I mean,
Or that you don't remember?
yeah, I don't really remember.
You don't really remember?
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of the phone, right? Did you see anyone get into that gray Jeep?
No.
You remember going to Frito Bank's house?
Yes.
And you remember seeing the defendant there? Is that a yes?
Yeah, he was there with us.
And you remember leaving there afterwards?
Yes.
And you remember going back to the defendant's house?
Yes.
Okay. And you remember at that point that when you went back to the defendant's house, it was you, Travion Glass, or Fetty,
Mhm.
and Jacoby Mouse. That's it.
Yes, I believe so.
And you said that you were in and out of sleep and intoxicated.
Yes.
And in terms of the, you remember that Travion was the last person to get out of the car?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Do you believe so, or do you remember? Which is it?
Yes.
And you know, and you mentioned about Mr. Demons looking for his phone, right?
Yes.
So of course he used your phone to call it and try and find it, right?
I don't remember.
You don't remember how he was trying to find his phone?
He just in the house looking for it, just like you would do if you lost yours.
So he didn't, try and do Find My iPhone or anything like that. Of course he used yours to do that, right?
I don't remember.
Of course he used something like, an Apple iWatch and set it off.
Objection, there's no testimony that he had
I
it.
don't remember.
Excuse me. One at a time, you ask the question, objection notice, overruled.
So of course he did all that. He went on Find My iPhone and he's looking for it.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember, okay. And of course he is using everybody else's phone to try and find it.
I don't know.
You don't remember, okay. But conveniently, the phone's missing that morning.
Objection to the form.
Yes.
I sustain the objection.
So with regards to your conversation, you texted back and forth with the defendant prior to this event occurring, right?
Yes.
And he had sent you a picture of his driver's license from that phone number.
Yes.
So you knew Mr. Demons, the defendant Melly, to use that cell phone 772-713-9807.
I don't know what the numbers is.
You have it saved in your phone, right?
Yeah, but I can't just remember a phone number like that. That number.
And you's testimony is that he's looking all over the house.
Yeah.
So in terms of the phone, did you see it again, that's it?
I don't remember.
Don't. Okay. And in terms of the phone traveling up to the video shoot up in Cocoa, you don't know how the phone got up there.
I don't know.
And you didn't shoot Mr. Williams or Mr. Thomas, right?
No.
But you know who we're talking about, right?
Chris and Anthony.
Yes. And in terms of the messages and things for Mr. Hammond, you're aware that his phone was broken at that time, right?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
In terms of Mr. Demons, you know he was dating Mariah Hamilton.
Yeah.
And you know that Mr. Demons would FaceTime her regularly.
Objection.
What's the objection?
There's no evidence of that.
I don't know.
So you know, and Mr. Demons would,
Excuse me, use the correct name.
Mr. Demons, my apologies. Mr. Demons would FaceTime and video chat frequently.
Just the phone for.
And Mr. Davis, you never met with Detective Mark Money? You never gave a statement?
No, ma'am.
And so the first time that you ever said anything about the phone being missing was today, July 18, 2023.
Yes, I believe so.
Nothing further yet.
Questions? Go ahead.
Detective Moretti never even talked to you during this investigation, did he?
No, sir.
And the bottom line is, at the time you learned that Christopher and Anthony were shot, Zach and Juvie were shot, this man was at his house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you tell that to the state?
Yes.
And were they the first ones who contacted you about this case?
Yes.
Thank you.
This witness excused?
Yes.
Sir, thank you very much. You may step down. You're excused. Counsel?
We would, at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need a few minutes with the attorneys. Do not discuss the case. Don't form any opinion about the case. Don't allow anyone to discuss the case in your presence or no research. All right, just leave your notepad on your chairs. Thank you.
Well, hope y'all have a good rest of the morning. I've got to get to mine. Take care. Peace and blessings. See you later.